as inflation and the battle against inflation is concerned. The latest, it would be shocking if a future recession rate did fall again to 0. So making some comments to the effect of maybe we need some higher interest rates to come. As we saw this morning, we're back to above 60% in favor of another quarter point hike coming up in June, in a couple of weeks here, when we get to the next Fed meeting. June 14th will be the next interest rate decision. Here comes the S&P 500 for you, still downside right now, negative, about 0.25% there, negative 0.27 in the red. So the same areas that we were struggling with this morning, getting a little more red as we head into the final couple hours here, including energy. Oil down 5% right now, with 30 minutes left in the pit session in Chicago. Material stocks, consumer staples as well among the leaders. All the retailers and most of the retailers to the downside this afternoon. Healthcare stocks, if you remember this morning, this group was mostly positive, now has since gone back to the downside. Same story for banks. A lot more red sneaking back in here on the financial services side. CMA and all of the regional banks also downside so far throughout the day. Industrials now red. Consumer discretionary names outside of, Tesla and Ford, the only ones holding up a little bit better, back in negative territory. Overall, though, for the consumer discretionary group, tech stocks really the only thing holding up the market at this point. Unfortunately, we thought and saw so much initial strength this morning coming from some of the chip makers, some of the overall big tech names ahead of a big week to come as far as individual movement is concerned. Remember, CRM coming up on Wednesday after the close. We'll get earnings from them. It was all about NVIDIA. It was all about anything really AI related, and so much strength to discuss as far as those are concerned. Let's get going. We were discussing a number of things this morning. If you were with us in the pre-market, one of those was Tesla. Elon touching down in China early this morning, set to talk to regulators, set to talk to lawmakers there once again, and maybe even look at some additional property as far as manufacturing is concerned. So Tesla to the upside initially this morning. It's going to sound like a bit of a broken record today because everything that was higher in the pre-market basically reversed in a big way, guys. Let's talk Tesla here.
Right about that. Everything that was once strong is now weak, although, I don't know, what are we looking at right now? It's a lot of blue. There you go.
Bring in Neil, guys. We can talk about what happened this morning for Tesla. Individual strength in both Tesla and Ford initially, back to the downside a little bit, but overall we're still dealing with relative strength here as far as Tesla is concerned. It has been a pretty good day. We're still positive on the session, obviously coming off what happened last week, but unbelievable amounts of negativity coming into the overall market. We are 0.07 away from negative territory on the NASDAQ right now, if you can believe that. We were up 1.4% when things got going this morning. It has been a pretty rough day. Otherwise, we are dealing with a minor technical issue, guys. Just bear with us. We'll bring in Neil and Sean here in a second. ES now negative 0.3 on the afternoon. Oil continuing to tumble 4.5% back to the downside. It has been a rough ride so far. We ended the week above 73, all the way back to 72 on crude oil. So a lot of the individual energy related names, as we saw on that S&P 500 board, back to the downside in a big way. Google now down 1.5%. Tesla, as I said, still holding on to 2.5% gain. NVIDIA has been just a monster since earnings last week came in much better than expected. We are still positive on the day for NVIDIA as well. On that note from Israel, that they were going to work on and develop their next supercomputer. So that comes on the back of what happened last week for NVIDIA. Has been pretty impressive overall today. Hey, there's Neil and Sean. Hi, guys.
There we are. And I have to. I'm doing this. First of all, the bull is like face down right now. So I'm changing this guy into the bear. Maybe it's going to be causing a market bounce, but, oh, you have one long. Okay. But it's still like, I mean, it's mostly
It's the
short.
long I should have had from time.
Yeah, it's the 198. So the NASDAQ's been kind of holding basically flat right now, but it's mostly been short since about 10 o'clock.
This is the very, I have 400 trades today. And this is the very first long that I've had all day. You can see we're well in the money on everything right now. Tesla, Amazon, we have Tesla long right now. Look at this AMD. You guys know when I was on the midday show, I gave everybody this trade. We took it so many times, once, twice, thrice. It's all up here. 126.60, beautiful short in for AMD, and we're just trying to cover some right now. So there's the short off VWAP. Shout out to Brian Shannon from Alpha Trends right there. We hit VWAP. And here we go. Tesla trying to battle back a little bit here. So we finally took our one. I'm going to take a piece out right now if I can get it at 19s. We'll just do that right here. If we can, we'll just take 25 cents quickly and then hold the rest. So there it is. Quick little recovery play here on Tesla. Backed out, verified the bottom there at 198. We missed this trade a couple times. Obviously, I said we'll have the best name, and we do with Palantir. Both Neil and I really crushed that name. But this Tesla's embarrassing because we wrote down 198 long, not short. So the fact that we have it now, let's take out a third. Who knows if it's going to work? We're going to wait for 197.50, the bottom of the day to break. But yeah, $1.05 in the money. Maybe we'll just wait for this to settle down because we're $1.05 in the money on Apple. We're $1.40 in the money on, here's Apple. I mean, Apple's from the morning still. That's making new lows right now. That's $1.05. Look at this Micron trade okay, Micron. I see where you are right now. Look at Micron right at the very bottom of the day. So let's put yes, sir.
Money.
No matter what, man, we have to hit the money right now on Micron as that's huge trade. We're battling this again on the midday show. Look at this, man, 12.30. We took this trade numerous times. Nice move to the downside right now for Micron all the way back to today's low. So let's cover some more. Short and out, hold. Nice trade to the downside. And then, of course, we will talk at some point. Oh, Microsoft right now, 250 in the money. And Tesla just working that trade right now. So I don't know. We can throw back to Brendan. Are we clean for all that stuff? I don't know. All right, let's try. Give me the thumbs up. All right, Brent.
We can grab my screen, I guess, which is available. Then, yeah, let's talk about a few other things here. NVIDIA, as I mentioned, so strong throughout the past couple of days coming off earnings. It was about that Israeli story. Here we go. I can bring this over. They're going to build a Israeli supercomputer for the country. So that was out this morning. We also had a couple of positive notes here, one from Piper Sandler pointing to further AI upside. The story goes on and on, guys. But all of these, Intel, AMD, QCOM, NVIDIA, all on a bounce initially this morning. We have seen, obviously, a bit of a reversal.
Didn't end up giving you 400 off the open. It bounced off 402, like 402, 403, and then it just set up a breakout trade. So I was looking for something on a dip buy early that never came in. I took the breakout, were able to get out, first scalping it to the first like $3. But then when it got to 420 or close enough to 420, the trailing stop was in. I tried a couple of reloads. I tried one reload on it at VWAP. That didn't work out. Then it broke down, gave a little up-down action at the 400, which I had for just like a little bit of a scalp out loss. But the story was the early break. And it's just been, quite frankly, since 420, it's been a short. You know, like NVIDIA's been stair-stepping to the downside. You're holding the 400 level right now, but it's not a very convincing hold. Like, it got to that 405. I think that's what Max was looking for. And then we're right back in at that break even. So if this doesn't hold up, I think it could get a little bit ugly. And TSM, we can talk about Intel short in front of $30. That's actually holding a consolidation up there now at VWAP. But TSM was another one that was a high flyer. And I got to this, I should have had the flat bottom break, woulda, coulda, shoulda, but I sat in it underneath that 102 level. I've taken one out when it broke down to 101.5, and I'll probably reload this out in front of that 102, just waiting for the bottom end of the range. Because once I missed this flat bottom break here, 102.60 on TSM, I kind of felt we were going to test 100, at least get close to it in a red day. The next consolidation was at 02, so that's what I'm going to short off here. There could be a long for this in the afternoon. We'll see. There's also a potential breakout, weird to say, for Intel, which I've been shorting essentially off 30, although early it was 29.70. This has now just gotten back into VWAP, but this is stronger. I mean, Intel not usually the strongest of the chip name, but when NVIDIA was going up, Intel went straight down. And then when NVIDIA started showing weakness, Intel showed a little bit of strength. At this particular moment, it does feel like it started to get dragged down with the rest of the market. But I could see if the market catches a bit of a bid here, we could be going for a breakout above that 30 level. I'm working the short in front of it until I see that level break. And I'm sure we'll get to Palantir later.
Yeah, I'm going to get to Palantir right now. We're taking out a piece right now on Palantir as we get 1470 a piece. Just that VWAP, it has fallen back a little bit. So let's just continue to watch out for Palantir down here at this level of 1470. I don't know, are we talking about chips? I mean, we're short AMD. We just put this trade on at VWAP. Really patient. We're almost out of that one. And then, of course, we're short on Micron as well. Both working and both down pretty huge today. Down 3 for Micron, down 3 for AMD, I think it was as well. No, sorry, 1.29 for AMD. AMD at its low was down almost 3% down there at 123.50. But we're getting flatter and flatter on all these trades. So hopefully this will come back in and fill us up. Right now, look at this one. Spin the money right now. Tesla, we're in the money. Oh, that's, Stream Deck not working. That must be down right now. Yes, it is. Okay, that's fine. Tesla right now in the money. We just bought 197.90, 60 cents in, but not taking that profit. Let's see if we get a little higher here on Tesla.
Talk some AI other than Palantir, and I'll start this off by saying, here's C3 AI up 20% on the day after a bit of a dip off that 41 level from this morning once again. So trying to hold 39 as the market went negative and is trying to bounce right now. S&P still down 0.25% here, guys. No real significant individual news for C3 AI, but the march higher continues.
The news is 28% short and in the right space and all that good stuff. Like, that's why it's doing what it's doing. Just an impressive rally for the stock after, oh man, the short seller report, and then it dunked and it bounced off the 200 period, which will load. Oh, there you go. It bounces off the 200 period like gold, and it's been breaking ever since. 35.5. This was the previous high going back to April. That's what we're looking at the open. It dipped, didn't quite get there. 36. Took some out scalp trade, then got out in front of 39, took the 40 break. That failed 41 pretty miserably. We'll get to 41 again this afternoon because you can probably see that failed again. I did not reload this. This is a mistake. I mean, it bounced right off that same 35.5 level, giving you entries at 36. Should have just gone right back to the well and then aggressively gone back into the long here. Instead, I end up taking not the break at 40. I know Max had the break at 40. I didn't really, I don't know, these afternoon breakouts, little consolidations like this I don't love. I like playing the consolidation at the level, so it shows me the break, it then holds the low, then kind of go long in front of the bottom. Then I know where to set my stop. It looked like it was going to break the high. Got out some at 40.5, some out at 41. Thought it was going to break the high of the day again, and then just set a break, just under a break-even stop. And of course, it ran that stop. So AI does not seem to want to get past 41.5. That's the last of it for now. If it holds VWAP, maybe it'll set up again for another break and consolidation higher, and we can start working the longs again. But I feel like that double tap at the high, it looks like a bit of a reversal play here. So I need to see some confirmation of strength before I get back into this for a fourth time.
Fourth time is a charm. Is it? Is that what they say?
Yeah, they say whatever they want.
AI, okay. We mentioned Palantir, we mentioned some AI names. I don't have any AI, but I do like it. If we're going to talk about something AI, I mean, the only closest thing I have right now is, well, I mean, I have Apple, AMD, Microsoft, Micron, Palantir, and Tesla.
Palantir counts.
They're all major AI names, but let's just go with Microsoft. I mean, Microsoft with ChatGPT, we've heard a lot about this, obviously, as it continues to make a move, hopefully lower here. But we already got a great trade on Microsoft. Try to be patient. Again, VWAP is your friend. We take it. It's $2 and change in the money here on Microsoft. Let's see if it keeps on moving. Looking to get a little more if we come up to 333. So right now we're short Microsoft at 333.35. It was just all the way down to day's low, man, at 330. We let it come all the way back up. Not a very smart move right there. Let's see if we can get some more out on that if it does come back down to that level of the day's low. I just thought there was a chance we'd take it, but we didn't. So 330.50, new target out here for Microsoft.
Speaking
has that in it, all the tweets that have that.
Whenever we're ready.
Okay.
A few other things still moving around here. CRM, one of those, coming up on Wednesday, guys. We have Salesforce earnings was up 2.5% to kick things off so far, or was in the pre-market, still holding on to a 1% gain, but wasn't much to do outside of a fade to start this morning. Back and forth since then, guys, for CRM.
I mean, when we talked about this in the morning, I think we pointed out that 222 was a good level on the daily. I don't know if this will go back far enough. Yeah, there you go. So you were at resistance, and you could have played that over-under type of game, and it showed you the under. But you pick and choose what you want to look at. And I think it was the right call. But you would have won if you did this too, I suppose. Like I liked Nvidia, I liked C3 AI at the open, and that. Just higher priority over those and CRM. But once it did not hold that resistance above, it was pretty clearly a short under 222. And it does feel like you're going to need to have strong earnings to get us through that number. The good sign is that it held pretty much almost to the dime at Friday's low. So you've held the bottom. It did not actually turn red. I think it just barely managed to stay green at its low point. So you're still going to have a green day for Salesforce going into the report tomorrow after market. But that 222, that's the level. You can be above that in the pre-market, all that nonsense, gapping above. But once the market opens up, you get a good idea at a level like that, and it decided to be a sell-off. Excuse me. I'm gonna like that. I'm gonna like that break if it gets there. And I almost say like if it's above. I care what the earnings are, but if they hold that level after the report the next day, then I'm just going to want to be long the stock because it's been a dog for so long that you're in early stages of, I think, like this potential break. This one pulled back pretty feverishly, and what you've seen across the board in terms of big tech has generally been if we're going to continue the break, you're not just going halfway, you're going to at least the next major level, which was up at like a 250. So it has to get through 22 first. I know that's something for tomorrow afternoon. I doubt we see that today. If I got there today, I'd be fading it. I doubt we make a $5 move. If we do, then I would short 221, 222. I don't think that's going to happen for us on CRM.
A big shout out to Harakesh. A big shout out to Steven. What's up to Renata? What's up to Comp SRX1? What's up to Chimps? What's up to Tony Price? What's up to Vanny? Everybody in our chat. What's good out there? Yeah, we got Tesla right now. Tesla's a banger. Oh yeah, Stream Deck. Tesla's a good one, as that's $1 now in the money and starting to go back up to the upside. So far so good on this. I was going to wait for 199.15 right here. Let's see if that comes into play. We're right now trying to take down 199. There it is. We finally followed what we're doing here. We finally got our sticky note long at 198. So finally, $1 now in the money as we continue to rip higher. Let's go. Let's go. We're right here at 199.15 for Tesla. I sort of thought we'd get a little bit of a breakthrough there at 199 to the upside and then just kind of blast. Looks like we're not getting that, but let's be patient. We are now 2 cents away. 2 plus 2, 12, 14s, 15s, and there it is. Why do I keep hitting the Stream Deck? Nice move. $1.30 now in the money on this last Tesla trade. So there it is, man. Wow, what a difference a day makes from this morning. I couldn't do anything right. Now we're just hot fire. 70 cents in the money Apple, 90 cents in the money AMD, Microsoft, Micron, Palantir, and Tesla. We're all spinning it over and over and over again here. It's 2:20, and let's go over to the desk with Brendan one more time.
All right, we had Ford, guys, bottom of the list this morning, or not bottom of the list, but on the board this morning. After an upgrade comes through. Nice move for Ford pre-market. Haven't really done anything since. 1250 ends up being a bit of a level, which was initially resistance in the pre-market after what happened on Friday. But relative strength, at least, here for Ford today.
Yeah, I'll take it. Ford.
Go for it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you have a fill on Ford?
No, I trade Rivian instead.
Yeah, good. Okay. All right. So we just got filled on something, by the way, which is good. Okay. Here's Ford. We only have one fill. What's up to my friend Phil again? 1250 right there. We actually, I think it's 52. We take that fill against 50. Upside, best out there, 67. Comes back down. Don't know what we were doing, getting some out at 56. Then comes right back, get out again at 60, 70, 67, best out. And then our best fill is right there where we got out at 70 on that trade. Again, that's an out and that's an out. We had too many orders there, so we overfilled. But right there, out at 70, the high of the day. I like Ford. I bought some more on my own account on Friday. We talked about that live as it was happening. We got filled on a market on open order down there at 11.50. So that's not a market on open. We had a bid on open, but it was already at 11.50. So there's the fill there. Nice bump up. Tesla charging stations, everything there, and makes a lot of sense to me. So I think that we want to stay short or stay long Ford until we break at least at 11.50 again. So for right now, it's a nice move up for Ford. We'll watch it. We're not in it, but it is a good stock for me today. That is Ford, another sticky note name.
Yeah, the one I'm frustrated with Rivian. I was in for one trade on Rivian and then out too early. Again, the market was kind of bouncing a little bit, and the daily chart's going to show you right here. I mean, $16 is a nice round number, but $15.80 has been the top on Rivian. You go back, April high, May high, and then we got right in there again today. This is what it's going to look like. It popped into it, had the short. You do the old structured trade, and then there was no bounce off the low. At this point, it looked like it was trying to consolidate and go higher, and Huadunk. And you don't have to, like, at the end of the day, it's like, well, where do you get back in? Well, you can get back in when it flat bottom breaks it, or when it takes out kind of support at 15, 10 or something like that. The trade probably done at this point on Rivian, but when you show a level like that, you just get shorted until it's not. Eventually, it'll be a breakout through that price, much like Micron was at 64, 65. The second it got through was a great long, but until it does, you just want to be shorted. It wasn't nearly aggressive enough, but that wasn't the first name that I was paying attention to. So it was like number 4 or 5 on the list, and that's often going to be the case. Sometimes that'll end up being the best or easy trade, is that third, fourth, or fifth idea that there's no chance you're going to have the multiple entries on, or it's just not your number one focus. But a weak name, at least today. Just noting a couple of things here. C3 AI is bouncing off VWAP. I know we just talked about getting out of that one again, but it's trying to put in a higher low. 90% up is pretty strong. I like the consolidation, but what I want to see is not just go long on a consolidation after pulling back. I want it to break out of this consolidation, show me a higher low again, and then go long off that kind of strength. So I'm not just looking for a breakout at this current level. I need to see it hold above that. Plenty of time, like 90 minutes to go. I think we can be patient for getting back into this. If it's going to make a run at the high of the day, there'll be lots of ways to get into the long. I did reload TSM in front of that 102 level. Haven't really taken anything out. TSM, of course, on the New York Neal. So I got some out at the bottom here, 101 and 59 or something like that, and then 102, a bit of a reload there. Going to play inside the range until we see a breakdown. 01s, 100 even, I think those can be support. But we'll see. AI not really looking for that reentry till I see some confirmation on the long. The market does want to go. AI seems to be more of a squeeze play. Like, it's not really as strong as the overall market on this bounce.
All right, I just wanted to mention this real quick. Beyond Meat, guys, back to the upside now. The initial move was actually negative, though, on pretty heavy volume. It seems to be on this, but New York City Mayor Eric Adams hosting a Beyond Meat themed brunch and posting about it. So, yeah, the initial move, as I said, downside, but trying to head higher here for BYND.
All right, we finally...
They'll take what they can get for news.
Yeah, we'll take what we can get for that. But, oh, yeah. Are we going to get... I guess Stream Deck is probably down. We have Tesla now, $2.20 in the money, and we're going to tweet this out because we finally followed our sticky note, and there it is, right back up to VWAP. Probably should get this out, man. $2.20, and we just put this live. I mean, hopefully you guys are in this, man. I don't know if you are, but hopefully you are. 198, we finally took it. There it is. Huge move to the upside right now. Right back to VWAP. Trust thy VWAP right now at $200.30. So let's do that. And there it is, man. Oh, I go to hit it again. We are now out. $2.20 winner there on Tesla to end that trade at VWAP. That's going to be a good one for me, and we're getting back into the swing of things right now with that trade. So Tesla continues to go for us right now, and this is what I'm talking about. Trust that 198 level right there. 198 comes right back in, so that's going to be a good fill for us there into that. So we'll wait to see. AMD was a good out at the bottom, but now you're trying to go again. I want this short again. 126.50. This is what we want. Let's see if it can work its way back up to the upside. Microsoft pulling a little bit. We did get some out again on Palantir, and we are very, very light, hoping to be able to reload this one. Like,
if the size is there, I'm going right back on the offer.
it's there. There's no reason for it to go.
I haven't seen, I mean, I haven't looked, but I'm sure.
No, I don't. I mean, I didn't see it. Didn't break. There's no reason for it not to be. So we're going to be right back there in Palantir when it comes back to the upside. But so far, so good, man. We've made so much money since the first 10 minutes of the show that I'm really just debating never trading the first little bit again before. So we'll see. But yeah, nice move. Oh yeah, and this is why. Look what I did on Tesla early. Sorry, I didn't mean to zoom out. Oh, it's because I can't zoom out anymore without changing this. It's like the same trade there is basically put back again. So, you know, it sucks to have, you know, taken this big hit in the first 5 minutes. As I said, like, what are we even doing in it? But there it is. My biggest loss of the day was finished with at 36 or 37. So 3 to 7 minutes in, and we're already lost more money than, you know, whatever. But, you know, not a great trade there for Tesla, but we make it back late, not all of it back, but there's a nice move, obviously back up to the upside there for Tesla. So far so good, and we'll just continue to watch this market as Tesla will probably feel bad that we got rid of it. Micron, good out down there at 72. It's trying to battle back. I still want to hold some of these shorts. I'm not against the short. SoFi, what's up, Renata? Great job being still long Ford, I guess, because I'm out of that at 70. Okay, so that's still fine. That was a good out. But yeah, for right now, I'm not seeing any setups. We're just going to stick with what we have, and they're all pretty good.
So I just asked Brennan about this name, but he says there's nothing. I don't see anything on Lyft. He doesn't see anything on Lyft, but for whatever reason, it is pretty strong. It's all green. I mean, since it broke its consolidation maybe like a half an hour ago or so, it's just only all green. And it's up 5% on the day. I haven't really checked out Uber. This is still it's not a great looking daily chart. That's my nice way of saying I could say something else. But $9 has to go. The 50 period has to go. You know, you're not even within spitting distance of major resistance outside of $9 even. And $9 even is going to be a level here. I do think you could maybe break out, but there's not enough volume behind this. That's kind of the problem. Like it's gliding up, but it's not a big volume move. I'll keep an eye on it. If it starts to pick up or it just sets up at a lower high for a bit of a long trade, let's go for it. But then the breakout there doesn't seem as obvious as something like a Palantir, which has everybody's interest. And when I say breakout on Palantir, yes, 15 had 2 million shares on the offer. That's just what you could see. There was even more than that probably in the dark. It filled everything at that level and held the level. And that was like that was this time. But if it gets back up there, probably going to be a lot of day traders shorting 98 and 99 again. If it breaks, reversal to the long. So if you're only tuning in now, the plan all along has been to reverse into a long if Palantir breaks at 15. I still like it. I think it's going to take, you have less time for it to go, so the breakouts in the afternoon aren't necessarily as good. But I would still take it. If we see it tomorrow, I'll take it tomorrow. That's just going to be one that has to be out there. I'm going to keep ear to the ground on Lyft. No idea why it's so strong. But, you know, sometimes it doesn't need a reason. It can just be a beat-up name, and then those can get back to the upside. But $9 is going to be the key level there. TSM, I'm giving it to 102.25. Once it's past the quarter, I'm out of that thing. And then you could be seeing a pullback into VWAP there. Very different story with Intel, because Intel's about the 30 level. But TSM, this is off the bottom. I wouldn't average into this. I'm just going to get out when it breaks this consolidation here at that 25 mark. AI getting pretty close to our level, and don't sleep on Nvidia in that 400. If you're into scalping a $400 stock, the 400 level, I mean, it broke a second time there, but I mean barely. You're risking about 50 cents if you get that price. Looks like that is the level to watch over there on Nvidia. And there's a lot of questions about Target, Alex, Jonah. All I can tell you is the trend is your friend. Just leave it at that when it comes to Target. If you look at this thing on the daily chart, I don't care. You say whatever you want to, but since this broke 150, you tell me where you'd like to be long this thing. I don't know. That's the answer. You're now underneath your flat bottom break at every time frame you can look at. You just made a fresh 52-week low, a new fresh low back that June low from last year. So this is kind of uncharted territory. And it's only downside. I think this thing is a short until it's not, just looking at the charts. And to anybody that's been playing this since it broke 150, just consider it a trend short. It feels a lot like Intel was when it initially broke it down to like $30. So I'm not trading it. I wish I was looking at this morning, but I was not.
Yeah, I mean, we've been calling the demise of retail for a long time, and there goes Target down to the downside again. We have a new position. I don't know, the last time we had a new position on, we made 250 on 215 on Tesla right there, and then the last position was AMD, and you can see how successful that's been. Also, getting out of Palantir, I feel like, was some good advice when we came live on the show as well. Getting out at 70, and then again at 77, and now waiting for a reload. So some of that size that we're talking about, there's something there at 98. We don't go back that far, so the minute we can get a little bit higher into the 90s, then most of these levels have 10 cents worth of depth. So 10 levels. So we'll wait to see if there's anything there again on that one. But here we go, new position alert. Now, I mean, the NASDAQ to say is on one would be an understatement. I mean, it is straight to the upside. Only right now in the last 25 minutes, 3 red candles, and you can barely see them. That's how lack of red they are. Wow, Tesla. Man, we should have held on to that. That 198. Randy, we just bought Tesla 198. It's at $200.50 right now, but I got out of it as there it goes right to VWAP right now. We could have held out, but that's, yeah, nice. That's a good trade. Thanks, Randy. Right there, nothing but love for Tesla and some of those longs, as you guys can see right now. Nice upside movement happening for Tesla. But okay, after that, not much else for me. Like we said, new position, Apple. Where are we going with Apple? Nobody knows. Haha, we know. Right here, 178. We're not going to get out until 178. Not only are we not going to get out, we're actually waiting for more shares. So if this can come through, then we'll get it right now, 178 and change. I just want to note that the top, because we got stopped out on it, some of these wicks, that's 178 flat. It's this wick right there that I'm concerned with. It's about 10s. So once we get up there, I'll dig a little bit deeper, but it's like 178.10. So that's roughly the target to get out of this. So we're hoping for a little bit of a downside move as we just start a new one right now. So we put a new position on at 65 here for Apple. Oh man, Tesla is just a monster right now. Oh, that's too bad. Oh well, we got the sticky note level, but Tesla continues to work upside, taking out VWAP and still going higher here, Tesla.
So this is a trade from this morning, but I actually canceled my bid that was to go breakout long on SoFi at $6 because, this morning it looked like it would be possibly one, but there's now size at 01s on SoFi. So someone just said in the chat, they're like, yeah, SoFi, up 11%, it's at $6, but there's size at 01. So I don't like an obvious $6 break because then you're hitting a level which has more size, a penny higher than it does at that 6 even. I'll let it break 6. And maybe play that first little dip pullback if you get 595, or let it hold above like 02s, 03, something along those lines. I'm back into C3AI, by the way. So C3AI made that break, 39.5, got into 40, so now playing it back into this like 39, 30 area, just where it was resistance before. We're gonna play it inside of the pocket and see if we can get back up to the 41 high. So back into C3AI. I'm not taking the clean break on. I like the long above on SoFi. Let's get that out of the way. Still kind of like that long. I just don't want to be hitting 01s when it's got another 100,000 shares showing on the bid. I don't like punching into something like that on a break when everyone's looking at exactly the same thing. We'll see what happens with that one, but I'm back into C3AI. I do think this market wants to make a clean bounce. It is worth mentioning. I'm not giving up an Intel short because you're still kind of stair-step down, so if resistance hasn't broken somewhere, it can be valid. This would be the NASDAQ. It's making another run, but it's been lower highs on every single bounce we've had. Needs to break 14.45. There's plenty of room for that to happen. So you can like a long and a short in this market at these current levels. I think you got to respect both sides of it. But just don't, I'm not going to be chasing anything at the top until it either breaks resistance or shows me some signs of strength. I got the kind of consolidation I was looking for in AI, so we're back into that one. Someone just said chill vibes short Tesla. Is it at 205?
I cannot believe I'm out.
Answer would be no.
No, it's at 201.
Yeah, because 05 was the high. Like
why are we not still
why would
long?
you short here? I can't think of why you short this level. I mean, maybe at 02. There was a ton of call action on this one. It was early, over 1 million contracts traded, and that's why I was hovering around that 200. But under 200, yes. Closer to 205, I could agree with that. But like where's the red candle? There's one bad one that's a dark pool wick, I'm assuming, here. and then there's one little red candle that you can barely see. I don't think you can short this until it goes at least a few dollars higher or show some weakness. That'd be my 2 cents. I'm sure there's other weak names out there. Like there's other names that you can be looking at. So into C3AI, I'll take something north of 40 and then out some in front of the high of the day, because if you have not covered in front of 41 in AI, you've regretted it every single time you didn't do it on the long side.
I say in the chat, like rhetorically, why did I cover?
Why, Lisa?
Why? I mean, it went
to
200, and that was good enough. But we are coming up. I mean, I do see Compass RX1 or whoever was mentioning to you about shorting that.
I didn't see.
I do see what you're talking about. I mean, it's coming into rate
Oh,
here.
he said shoot.
201.33.
No, that's my bad.
Yeah, it's okay. 201.33 right there coming in for Tesla. That's too bad, because we did have that long. Nice take to the. It doesn't matter. They're working now.
No, he told me in the ear.
Okay, good. As long as they're working, you guys can see the wins. That's all that matters right now. Okay, so Microsoft dollar in the money, but that's coming back up. This could be near another short level right now of 332. I'm waiting for this 333 where VWAP is. We're getting pretty darn close to re-engaging in a short right now as the market kneels the Widowmaker one more time, because you remember you turned the bear?
Look, here's the way I look at it. If we're both only in short, and the market's just turned red, I'm like, I'm going to put it to the bear until proven otherwise. And maybe we end up holding green, but it's been a downward trend. I think if you break 42.2 in the ES, I think if you break 14.45 in the NASDAQ, then you call it a little bit of a long trade. Tesla 400 again.
Yeah, it could be happening.
Okay.
Tesla 400.
Okay. I mean, that's aggressive. That's definitely aggressive. I would not complain if that were to happen, but I think let's pump the brakes. I think we'd all be happy if it got to 205 today and we could see trade-offs that high of the day. But 400.
Yeah. No one's talking about 400 today, are they? I mean, that would be.
No, but even to say that's going to happen before another major move down, I think that's a tad bit aggressive for Tesla. Nvidia 400. If you mean Nvidia 400, if this doesn't break away from this, like this, it's been an impressive move up in the market. But what I see here is NVIDIA not wanting to participate as much in this move. So if we roll back over, suddenly NVIDIA taking out that low looks like a short again. And that's right now it's 399.50 or so. If that were to break, I could see NVIDIA giving a couple of dollars worth of a trade to the downside. But cross that bridge when we get there, if the NASDAQ reverses, NVIDIA is suddenly not as strong as it's been in the past. So I'm not putting this one in the long bucket right now.
No. I'm looking for some trades. I mean, I'm going everywhere right now trying to find out if there is anything that might set up at some point for us. XOM, there was a big oil move obviously today. CL, $F here. Here's oil. Down 4 and a bit today, so 4.5%. Of course, I just filled up on the weekend. One car, I got the other one today. Hopefully, we'll see what the gas prices are. But there it is, man, 68, 69. So I always call up the same kind of names when we're looking at oil. XOM, Chevron, not as much, or Oxy is something that we often like to trade. So, having a quick look at all this right now, again, kind of in the middle and stuck here. Not much for a day trade for XOM right now. I mean, if you sort of identified early that oil was weak, I mean, XOM hasn't done anything all day. So I'm going to immediately get off this one before I figure a trade out and put one on. Oxy right now, 58 and change. Same thing, yeah. I mean, this is the daily chart. So what are we going to do with this? Unless next time we sort of identify, did I just get filled on something again there? Apple, yes, sir. Wow, okay, let's go to something that we're cashing on right now. Apple.
Oh my God.
Yeah, right. I mean, I want Apple to go down a lot more than that. Oh my God, Apple's only 10 cents in the money. 15 cents is where we got to fill here at 51. So nice fill right there on Apple. Sorry, 52, 51 or 50, I guess I check my trade list. 52 fill on Apple off of 66 short. So 14 cents. Now let's see if Apple wants to bleed a little bit more to the downside. We need to get some more shorts. Obviously, I want to be short all this stuff right now.
Meta's pretty weak.
I say obviously, but the NASDAQ still has a little bit more to go. So I don't know if we want to be short immediately or just wait. But I know I want to be short now. I've waited for this debt ceiling talk forever. I said you weren't here last week, but even when they settle this, the market's just so hot right now that...
extended.
Yeah, we're a little extended. What a good out that was on Micron on the bottom as well, looking to get more short there. I'm just trying to check out all these positions. Okay, here's Palantir, so let's see. Where was the size? There it is. So,
There
okay.
it is.
But that's not.
What? No, it was 100. It was 1.6 before.
Yeah, it was a lot more before.
But remember, they filled the offer.
We'll have to wait.
Yeah.
I don't know if they filled the offer.
I swear I saw it get hit.
Okay, well, right
But-
here, this is when it would have been 1.2 million shares or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe not all of it then.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like there's more to be done there. But yeah,
I'd take it again.
Yeah, so I'm sitting. Oh yeah, I'm sitting here at 97 on Palantir. I'm already in. Obviously, Neil and I both want to make this trade when it comes up. So as soon as I get a more aggressive fill, I'll flip over. But the thing is, though, is trade like us as well if you want. I already have the bid out. Like if it breaks, if all of a sudden this name just right now shoots to $15, I'll be filled and my stop order will be ready to go. So I already have the stop order in. If our platform sees 1502 at any point today, then it should send out a marketable buy order to get me the heck out of this. It will. No, well, you say that.
Okay,
no, that's
okay,
hilarious.
no,
it's supposed. That's what should. I've already had a failed stop today once.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible to fail again. I'm just talking about our software. Obviously, if it breaks, the software should fill. So we'll pretend like that is the case. I'm going to be watching it anyways. So yeah, they've definitely taken some shares out. That's only 140,000.
Yeah, it's not as big as it was before.
No, there was another zero on this.
Yeah, before it was much
So
bigger.
it was 10 times bigger before. So hopefully when it gets back up there, we'll have a decision to make. I already know what mine's going to be. Get out if we break 15 and possibly just hammer that long, guys. So that's the trade that I'm waiting for right now is Palantir. Good out on Apple because it came all the way back. We only got 20% out. We're waiting for more. So we're at 178 on Apple.
So one quick thing, because I think Natalia's made a good point in the chat. The price action in the last 2 months has turned me into a bull. Don't you feel the beginning of most bull markets, if we accept that this could be a bull market, look extended to begin with? Yeah, usually at the beginning of a bull market, things feel overextended and then they just don't stop, and you realize that anyone starts chasing it. Maybe you get a pullback later on, but the trend is pretty strong. I would just almost say that usually when you have this rate cycle that we're in, like at some point, like you get that point where things get overextended, but then rates eventually come down. You go into there's a bit of a recession, and then when they start dropping the rates, that actually can signal a bit of a turn in the market. Not that you think it's the other way, but the market is already priced in that we're going to have the rates eventually slowing down, the increases, and then coming back down. The market prices that in, is rallying, and then at some point there's a deep pullback when rates start going up. We haven't had that, so usually that's something you'd get. My answer is, I don't know. When you're a day trader, you don't have to know. That's the good part about it. So dollar cost average in the long term, and don't panic. I don't really look at my long-term account too often. When I do, I find I overtrade it. But you could be right about that. I tend to think there's a move down coming, but I can't discount your position. And I know someone, by the way, AI did break about 40, so I took some out in front of that 40. Now we're looking for that 41 again. But I know somebody who usually has a pretty good opinion on the macro side of things and where the broader picture, bigger picture is headed, and that's our guest right now.
All right, as promised, Frank Caberna, Senior Content Strategist with IG in Chicago, back with us on a Tuesday. What a weekend, Frank. Happy Memorial Day yesterday, obviously, but we get a big announcement on Saturday, more specifically from U.S. President Biden and Speaker McCarthy on they have a deal. Why are we hiking again? They have a deal. Everything's supposed to be fine, no?
Yeah, it's really, really interesting interest rate price action that we're seeing. And it's almost two different stories that are going on here, Brendan, which have to do, one, with the Fed and what the FOMC is intending to do in the June and July meetings, which are going to be very, very interesting here as we continue to play this game of, is this the last rate hike? Essentially, we thought it was the last rate hike, and then it got pushed. Oh, well, maybe they'll hike in June, and now bringing in the odds for July. The question becomes, will they hike again in July if they hike in June? As you can see, there's an 80% chance as of today that another interest rate hike is coming in one of the next two meetings. And then there's a 25% chance, Brendan, that they hike twice, either once in June, once in July, or 50 basis points in July. As you can see that more than 25% chance there of 50 basis points higher than where we are currently after July's meeting. And this is creating a lot of confusion around the interest rate market here, because we have the other story developing around the debt ceiling and what that's meant for short-term rates, as people have been moving out of the 1 month T-bills, given that they have the most default risk in them, and those interest rates have been climbing as people have been moving out of that. But we'll get to that in a second. I first want to harp on the Fed part of it. We have these June and July meetings coming up, and what our yield curve is looking like as of today, because as we've started to price in, Brendan, more of these potential hikes here in June and July, the yield curve, especially looking at the 2s and 10s, what you and I have been looking at for years, which is really the benchmark for the yield curve, whether it's normal, whether it's inverted, whether it's flat, steep, what have you. It's back to 70 basis points of inversion here. If you look at that 2-year right now at 4.5% and the 10-year at 3.8%. And so with the projections for the Fed getting back to more potential hikes, short-term rates climbing higher and higher, medium and long-term rates still not buying it, we're back to a very inverted yield curve and a quite rare yield curve at that. If you look at the last several years of the difference between 2-year and 10-year interest rates, right now inverted by 70 basis points, they're normally about 75 basis points in the positive direction. And so we're really in rare territory that we got down to in the end of 2022. We got inverted by 100 basis points, jumped all the way back up, and actually got close to getting back to a normal yield curve or uninverting, so to speak. But now we're back down to those quite inverted lows here in that yield curve. And as we'll talk about here in a second, that 1 month Treasury bill looking very odd, very suspicious at 6%, even higher than the 2-year.
Yeah, interesting moves. And I want to go back to last Friday before we get too far into this, in the sense that, I mean, this inversion that we've been discussing, as you mentioned, over the past year or so, if not more, typically indicates that a recession and a slowdown is supposed to be coming. But we keep getting this data showing the complete opposite. I mean, the PCE again on Friday had certain portions of it that was, you know, still higher than expected, still showing some stickiness, if you will, in certain areas of the economy. So when is it going to come, if it's going to come? And yes, 6% versus at the bottom, you know, 3.8 now.
Yeah, it's really wackiness here in that yield curve. And you're exactly right. Like the PCE data comes in higher than expected. Durable goods today comes in higher than expected. Non-farm payrolls on Friday, we'll watch that one. But it feels like the market is pricing in a chance of that being higher than expected here. It's been really, really strange because, yeah, you look at this inversion, and we've been inverted for well over a year now. You can see anything below that dotted line is showing an inverted yield curve, looking at the 2-year and 10-year Treasury benchmarks here. And we got down to -1%. And that's when it was looking like, you'll remember that coincides with some of the volatility that we were seeing in the stock market as well. And it really felt like stocks were going to turn over and we were going to see that recession to the tune of, 20, 30, 40% lower in the stock market. And it didn't happen. I mean, you look at that NASDAQ that is well above 14K now. And we have to remind ourselves that, of course, while the inversion of the early 2000s and the inversion of 2006, 2007, right before the dot-com bubble and the financial crisis, respectively. Though those inversions did occur, and then we saw those stock market crashes to follow, inversion doesn't necessitate a stock market crash or a recession here. We can actually see ourselves normalize in this yield curve one of two different ways. Those two times we did see the stock market plummet and short-term interest rates come crashing down to zero, while the medium and long-term interest rates stayed, of course, they moved lower as well amid those stock market crashes, but they stayed, relatively speaking, higher than short-term rates. And of course, those short-term rates can fall to see this curve normalize. Two-year rates can fall. The Fed, if stocks start moving lower, the Fed will be they'll have to lower interest rates, cut, and everything else. But Brendan, we could see, especially if the data continues to come out positive, we continue to get comfortable with a high interest rate environment. At some point, the yield curve could normalize with 5-year, 10-year, 30-year rates climbing up to 5%, 6%, 7%. And we could see the stock market not see a recession here because of this inversion. I'm with you that the recent data points have shown inversion means stock market crash. But keep in mind that that's 2 data points. It's a small sample size, and we could see normalization in our yield curve with an up stock market. But right now, I don't know how you feel, but it feels very 50-50 between those two paths to normalization. Either stock market crash and the Fed brings rates down to zero, or we normalize with 10-year and 30-year rates finally getting closer to 5% and 6%, where short-term rates currently are.
Yeah, and you can almost feel that uncertainty in the overall market, in equities and, FX markets as well. It's worth noting the House Rules Committee debate on the debt ceiling is happening right now as we speak. So just getting underway here this afternoon. Let's talk about, it seems to be the hot topic these days. So as we said, over the weekend, we get this announcement that some sort of tentative agreement has been reached. Going into this announcement, it seemed like rates were running up into it. The dollar was running up into it. And now we get this tentative agreement, the dollar down today, not huge, but down. The 2-year and the 10-year, as you mentioned, also under a little bit of pressure here. What can the outcome be, if this goes through, and there's no reason why it won't, and it gets passed right away? What can the outcome be here for those?
Well, and so this is the other side of that story, because I think, when it comes to the Fed and those odds of a rate hike and what is going to go on with the Fed funds rate, that is going to be highly dependent on, your PCE data, your CPI data, your non-farm payrolls that's coming out this week. The other side of that story, which is Treasury interest rates, which of course the Fed has a lot of influence over, but are much more liable to fear and risk in the market. If we get this debt ceiling raised today or tomorrow prior to the Treasury having to default, then you would likely see Treasury yields, especially in the short term, and ones we're looking at the 1-month T-bill, which on Friday prior to that announcement hit more than a 20-year high in yield, closed the week last week above 6% for the first time in more than 20 years. And that's been a run-up that's fear-based. Of course, we got to this territory of 4 or 5% because the Fed had to hike interest rates because of inflation and everything else. But the recent run-up from the 4 to 5% territory to now above 6%, where they closed on Friday, and today coming off a little bit because of that announcement over the weekend and the idea that the Treasury might not have to default. We might get this debt ceiling figured out. That's been all based on fear. And so if we get the debt ceiling raised, there's no technical default from the Fed. These 1-month T-bills and 3-month T-bills and 6-month T-bills, they are not going to have to go into default. They'll get paid out like normal. You would expect these interest rates, the yields on short-term debt from the Treasury, to not necessarily collapse, but fall probably to the tune of 25 to 50 basis points to get back closer to where the Fed currently is. Keep in mind that the Fed is at 5%. And so the difference between the premium almost of 5% to 6%, where the 1 month T-bills have run up to, is that fear premium almost. And yeah, you correctly there remarked that you're seeing it in the 2-year as well. 2-year rates have been just climbing higher day after day for the last 2 weeks. Almost every day that the debt ceiling is not raised, building in another 5 basis points of premium there. I wouldn't expect, like I say, a collapse of short-term rates down to 4.5% or 5%, 100 basis point fall, but that premium of 50 basis points, depending on where you are, from 1 month to 3 months to 6 months to a year to 2 years there, that premium will come out if they do raise this debt ceiling here. But there's still some fear in that market. Obviously, like you say, US dollar is lower today, interest rates are lower today, but they're not getting crushed. I think there is still that fear, Brendan, that they don't settle on this decision in the next 48 hours and the Treasury runs out of money in the short term. And maybe that 1 month T-bill, for example, is at risk of default.
Yeah, still a bit of a gray area as to when exactly that will be, whether it's June 1st or the 4th or the 5th or the 6th, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Let's look ahead here quickly just to wrap things up. You mentioned a couple times there, non-farm payrolls coming up on Friday. If we do get another print here to the upside or higher than expected, as we've had in the past 2 or 3 of these, what does that mean going into then 2 weeks and a day out from the next Fed?
Yeah, I think a couple of things here. Of course, all else equal, if we get a non-farm payroll number that is, I believe, expected right now at 190, if we get something to the tune of 250, above 2, closer to 300, I think you could really see those interest rates run higher, and those projections of the Fed hiking rates more in June, July, and on throughout the rest of this year build in higher as well. Especially if that happens, Brendan, and we see some sort of confidence building. We had a good last 2 weeks in that regional bank sector that's been obviously the most fearful sector of the U.S. market for the last several months. If some confidence builds there and we get a higher than expected non-farm number, you would almost expect that the Fed is going to continue to hike more. Now, if we get weaker non-farm payrolls and we get some weaker inflation data in the weeks to come here, and there's more fear around the regional banks, then they'll start to price out those interest rate hikes, causing the Fed to start thinking about if the last hike was the last one and when they might cut. But yeah, it's going to be a really interesting non-farm here on a shortened week in the U.S. It's going to creep up on us sooner than we think.
Yeah, we'll tee it up a little bit closer on Thursday when we speak next. But yeah, interesting week to come. Lots to look forward to. Frank Caberna, Senior Content Strategist over at IG in Chicago. We appreciate it as always.
Thanks, Brendan.
Crushing it. Let's be frank for a moment. You threw that in there.
I didn't notice when he said that, but you did.
I see what you're doing there, Frank.
Yes.
We are in a bit of a unique situation right now. It's a very good point about the market does or doesn't do right now. It's not a guarantee.
Apparently your mic is off.
I turn it off to sneeze, and then, of course, I don't turn it back on. So thank you again, Frank. And it's always good to get that higher time frame expectation or look at what the market is going to do, especially given that I think we're all over the place with what the Fed's going to do next time. I left here thinking that we knew what it was going to be, and all of a sudden we're going to get a hike, and you could see a bigger hike, and it might not even be the last. Like, what the hell are we talking about here? But we are in a bit of an uncertain time in the market, and I want to see what happens overall. But I want to get back to a couple of things here. The market started to roll over. So first, I did put a position on in Meta right before we were about to go. I was looking at this. It was getting into previous high 264 area. I'm shorted here into 264 and a half, 264 short into 4.5. I will take some out when it gets 1-to-1, then some out in front of 263. The other thing was C3 AI happened. So we got that consolidation long, got some inside the consolidation in front of 40, rang the register there. And then when it got to 80 pennies, it could not crack 40.50. I got some more out in front of 40.50. It failed 40.50 again. It's giving another higher low, so 40 even starting to hold. It's got to break this 41.5. It's just, it's wanted to all day long, but you can tell, like the last time we grabbed the consolidation long was almost very similar and eventually stopped out the last third. I think we're in a similar spot here. Could just get stopped out 39.40, sorry, on the last little bit, but I want to hold it for that high of the day and see what happens. But the market got to that resistance at 14.45 in the NASDAQ. I elected to look at the meta short. Oh, and I reloaded Intel, which I don't know why, but it wants to make a run at that 30 level. Intel's really strong today.
Oh, man.
Despite the fact the short keeps working off this 30 level, eventually this is just going to break out. And nothing happening on Palantir yet.
Oh, yeah, Palantir to the downside. But while you guys were gone, I mean, the awesome bang happened again, and we just tweeted this out one more time. Like, there it is again. Well, we didn't tweet this trade out. We tweeted out before. Microsoft came all the way up one more time, and there's the short again. Trips, boom, right down to the downside. I'm now waiting. I mean, maybe I should, now that I look at this, I'm at 30 right now. We're at 33, 34. We could probably hold out for a little bit lower on this one. Let's see if it comes through. Actually, I'm just going to punch out 37, cancel my 30 right there. Take the fill, as there's Microsoft, man. We ain't even dancing with the devil, man. We're just taking the short right there, absorbing that through 333. So you know this stop? So we're already now 4-1 on risk to reward. Our stop was just a little north of 333. Our fill is at 92. So we take about 15 cents worth of risk to now be in the money, 55 cents. So 60 cents puts it 4-1, and there it is right now. A little risk to reward right there. We're smoking on Microsoft today. Again, the number 2 name, I guess, today for us, Microsoft. Nice move to the downside there as Palantir continues, obviously, to be the number 1 name right there. Let's see some downside push for Microsoft. I mean, I want to be able to hold this. We screwed up by not getting it out there. We reloaded it here. Next time, let's just see. Hopefully this will drop. Hopefully the market will come back in a little bit for us, and we'll be able to hit this today. So far, so good on that reload right now. And as Neil sort of didn't spoil anything, but wow, you know what, Neil? I didn't even realize. Did we get up there to 93? Maybe we did. I'm still waiting for 97 and not trying to be like too cute with this on Palantir.
Yeah, just take it right in front.
Just wait for it. I think patience is what the
money. Oh, the market just came down all of a sudden. You're not getting that Palantir anymore.
No, look at Apple. We reloaded this as well. No max, no problem. I've got my wingman is in the building. We're actually hitting this today, man. Apple short dollar, AMD boom, Microsoft, Micron, Palantir. We just took $2 for you on Tesla, which should have been $4 as it went all the way to 202 there. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, didn't. Out right there at 200 off of that. So far here in the afternoon, what have we done? Micron short, right? That's good. Actually, that's not an afternoon play. Get out of some Palantir. That was good. Put on Microsoft twice. Thrice. Put on AMD right there as well. So hopefully we can get some. Oh, and it was Apple. Apple was the most recent one we put on there at 177.70, and we just got to fill there at 35. That was that move down that we hit the money. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see where it goes, but we like that trade. Maybe a pullback further. I don't know. Look at how aggressive these names are, though. Like all the way down, all the way back up, right? So you want to be able to be in a scalp kind of a mode possibly here with this market. So we're out of more than half, obviously, of our Microsoft trade, as we have a bunch of outs, and they're just the same levels. So again, 4-1, we took it. Let's see if it wants to work to the downside. I still want to hold, though.
Yeah,
you know?
I know why. Because you look at what's going on in the NASDAQ. I just got a quick out on Meta at the 1-to-1, and then it's right back. It's right back at 64. So, the market got back up to that high. We had a little bit of a push down. Looked like it was going to break down, and then came right back into this consolidation where we've been for the last half an hour or so in the last, 20 to 30 points on the NASDAQ. So that was real fast on Meta. Like Meta got down in there, and it's a big range on Meta. I had this dark pool wick as well, but the overall range has been $6. So inside here, you are getting a bit of a dollar range. That doesn't look like much, but in scalping mode, you can definitely play it. So I want to take some overfills at 264. Got to watch out for Intel because it's about to break that 30 level. That's the reload that did not give me any outs. So I reloaded, but on even that last little move to the downside, it never quite filled anything. I missed by about 2 cents. getting some out in Intel. It wants to run at that high of the day. At some point, you take a trade like this, you get the VWAP retracement, but it's just trending up. So the shorts have worked on it, but they work until a point, and that support level, resistance at 30, is about to go. SoFi broke 6. I didn't take the 6 break because I thought there was offers, big offers at 01s. It's not really churning through this, and the volume, I'd say it's pretty unimpressive, the volume through $6, but it looks pretty solid on the higher time frame, and I want to be in this long above the 6 even. I'm just thinking it was going to pull back. Like if it doesn't scream off 6, it does a dip first, rinse some people out, grab a 95 long, give that 5 pennies, and then all of a sudden you don't have to worry about being long at exactly at the high of the day, and you can let it work for you. So it's trying to make a bit of a dip right now. I'm going to look to see if there's a dip buy around 95, consolidation here on SoFi. Because once it does not go right away, there's people that took the 01s, 02s that are going to get out. And I think usually that's where I would like to be getting into the long and setting a stop lower.
All right, you guys want to do the Barry Horowitz. Yeah, it's tapping yourself on the shoulder there. But I'm not doing anything because although we're happy with some of these trades, wasn't happy with the performance in the morning. But yeah, so far so good here in the afternoon. As okay, maybe Palantir is giving us a view now again as it's back to 89. So yeah, it's still the same. We're not seeing that huge size at 15 again. So I'm still waiting at 97, trying to be patient with this. So let's wait to see if that's the case. But here comes Palantir again. Yeah, it's not. I mean, is that the right? Like, can I see? Yeah. So normal before there was 1.6 or 7 million. That's only 140,000 right there on Palantir. So those of you that were a little interested in what we were looking at before, that's what it is. So I'm going to wait now to see if that does come through again. And if it does, we'll address it at that point. But for right now, I'm still offering 97. It doesn't even matter if that size is there. Really, 15 has been a wall. So we'll trade that short off 15 if it does come through again. So that's what we're going to look at. Don't know if it's going to happen, but we're going to wait to see if that is indeed the case. So down goes Apple right there. That's a good short for us. We've already hit that. It's just bouncing off 25 again right now. So yeah, not in love with some of the action that we're getting here, but at the same time, you know, waiting for a little bit lower. I thought the market would be lower now. So that's what I mean. I'm happy with the positions that we have.
We're not flushing.
Yeah, we're not. There's not that sort of, to take my guys' talk here, we're not really quadunking down to the downside right now.
So haven't said that today, actually.
What was that?
Quadunk.
Right, good. Let's not say it too much.
It has not been a quadunk day.
Right, it has not.
Oh, there was a question in the chat about why can't we hold positions overnight. So we're trading on a prop floor that is Day Trade the World. It's a Day Trade the World office. And by that name, everyone that trades with Day Trade the World Capital is a day trader. You have to be flat at the end of the day. On our own personal accounts, we can obviously hold things as long as we want. I mean, but when we talk about what we're trading here, we'll always say, hey, we're in here, we're out there, but we have to be flat at the end of the day on all these positions that you'll see us take. If we are doing something, if we're making a comment about something in our personal long-term accounts, we'll always try our best to make sure we're talking about that. But here, can't hold it overnight, don't hold overnight. We don't really trade earnings or anything after market either. So it's just about those day trades. But as you said, like the market, it wants to give it up. Well, I shouldn't say it wants to give it up because we're not really going anywhere. But this has been downward trending. You're on another lower high here. So to me, playing the rollover is what I'm looking for. That's why I'm sitting with the shorts right now. AI, a bit of an exception. I guess it's more of a squeeze play than anything else. It might not care what the market's doing. But I just feel like we can make a nice rollover here. It's hard to want to be long tech when I pull up the 60-minute chart. Well, will I want to be long the overall market there? It feels like we're at more of a resistance level. And when that's the case, you just want to sit into your shorts. And Steve G, you're absolutely right. Let's do it.
This.
Hola. Like and subscribe today.
I guess we got some.
We are on a prop floor, and we are trading live for you, and we only ask that you grow the community and hit the like, hit the subscribe, because that's what it's all about. We talked about it in the midday about how it's a symbiotic relationship. If you guys aren't getting something out of the show, then nobody wins. So hopefully you get entertained. Hopefully there's some good ideas out there, and hopefully we can all learn something. I learn something from you guys pretty much every single day. Let's go Palantir power. What's crazy is I know we're both going to short it, but let's be real. Would it be fun to have a 15 break? I like the long through 15 too on Palantir. It's just until it happens, every day trader in the world is going to be, well, I shouldn't say that. most traders are going to be favoring that short when you see a level like that, but it's not as big anymore. That's the difference. Like, it feels like it wants to break. I'm still offering 97, but this is strong. I feel like it's going to go. So whatever you put in front of it,
it will
you're only
go.
risking a couple of pennies, and then it's going to go.
I've
Once
stopped.
it prints 02s.
By the way, not going short.
I'm taking 20% what I had the first time because, well, because it's like the 5th time it's gone there. There's no chance. I would never like a trade the 5th time at a level or a 4th time at a level the same way you like it the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Yeah.
I think it's insane to think that. But, well, maybe that's stating it too harshly there, but there's no chance. Like, everyone's looking at the same price, man. And everyone's thinking the same thing, and they have that FOMO. If you didn't get the 15 the first time, you're FOMOing this silly thing when there's less size on the offer. But that's a breakout that has to happen.
So I just looked, I have 1% left. I don't have anything left of Palantir. No, I just looked, I know how much I have. Yeah, it's always cold around here. Cold as ice. So here comes Palantir. I'm going to not take this reshort. I was going to do it. There's definitely no size there anymore. It's going to blast that level. And then it's just a matter of, the only risk right now with Palantir, in my opinion, we're just sitting here at Stone Cold chilling, as you know, shout out to Stone Cold Steve Austin, is the fact that it breaks 15 and then just rifles right back down. I mean, we've seen that happen over and over again, including many big names, right? Like NVIDIA takes 400 and then slams down $3. We saw it happen on Tesla the other day where it went up to that, well, that wasn't a key level, but it went to 198.50, hit it, slammed down $7, right? You saw today NVIDIA hit close enough to that 420. What is the high of the day here on NVIDIA?
418
Is it 418 and change? So there it is again, like 419.40 is what we have.
Oh, it actually hit 19?
I think it did. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it did, man. So there it is right there. So just like that on NVIDIA, that's a 420 take, let's just say, straight down $13 without even stopping, really. There is a little bit of a stop action there. But, so let's just wait to see on Palantir. You guys know where the trade is that we were looking at. We were looking at short at 97s. So if you like that, you can sit there and take it. I think I'm going to wait for that. We did get a fill on Apple, which was pretty good. They're at 40. So we'll ring the register on that. Microsoft, waiting for it to break even lower, but let's try to find some more trades right now. All right, so we're out of Ford. Let's just see what Ford is doing. Again, we're trying to trade names that might be doing something. Oh, Alibaba, I had written down on the sticky note as a short through 80. Yeah, of course. We're at 78 and change. No surprise there. But look what's happened once it took 80. Give me a break, Sean. We never even thought about coming back through that 80 break. So there's the 80 break. Here's, I was saying before, man, I just got to calm down off the open because look, we were looking at this trade with Alibaba, by the way, as you guys remember. So right there, great short at 80.50, really gave it to us. And again, the only short we have written here on the sticky note is Alibaba, and it did come through one more time. So nice move to the downside there for Baba, and 78.20. Again, let's just stick with our rules, man. We're short Microsoft now 70 cents in and still looking to make lower moves, obviously. Apple was a really good reload short. AMD, we didn't really get any fills here on AMD, so that was bad, but looking to get a little bit more if we get close to that 127. Oh, we're right at VWAP right now. This should be, what am I doing? We should be short AMD right now. Yeah, we could be short AMD. All right, let's go short AMD. I still want to keep an eye on Palantir, though.
I'm making a bit of an adjustment on AI. This time, I'm not letting it get back to break even because every single time it's done this consolidation break and gotten to the high of the day, it has not made any sense. The first time I got it all out when it looked weak, and that was probably right, I didn't reload it. The second time I held on to a piece, this time I will not. If we get back beneath 40.5, I'm just gonna get out. I'm gonna trail this one because either it breaks the high and goes moonshot, and then fantastic, or we'll just have to, so not lick our wounds, but just recognize the fact that, yes, it wants to go, but it cannot seem to break 41.5. I'm not holding all the way back into 39.40 and losing 25 cents on it. We'll make 70 cents or so if it does not make the break of the high of the day. If it does, then we'll hold on for Dodge and see what can happen there. But the market has other ideas. Is Meta now starting to roll over a little bit more? I'm looking 263 for the next day, just under $1 because I don't actually have 64 short. I have 63.92, and then maybe that low of the day. Meta, it might be up technically, of course, not technically, Meta is up on the day because it closed at 62, but this has been a downward trending stock. So shorted that little rollover there at 264. That's continuing to work. I did get stopped out of Intel. We talk about how many times you'll go short a level before eventually it's just not as good. Well, that one broke 30. I got out. It's still at 30.01, so technically, I suppose you could say it hasn't really done much, but not one that I wanted to hold past that level. Just like I won't hold Palantir past the high of the day. Like, it could easily do that thing where it goes to 03 or 04 and then flushes, but I'll be out if it breaks the high. And I don't mind. I think that's perfectly fine because at some point you have to be able to take the out. And watch out for NVIDIA. NVIDIA is approaching that low. The low is no longer 400 on NVIDIA. You're looking at it's 399.40. Actually, I think it's 399.50 even. A little dark pool wicks in there, but if this makes a fresh low, it's arrows to the downside at that point.
We just took, yeah, I mean, I agree. I just took another piece out at 126 here on AMD. So silly because we should have been short. I didn't even notice that it was all the way at VWAP. Oh, that sucks, man. Sometimes it's like, this is the problem when you have too many positions. We're short 5 major names right now. Apple, which is kind of not doing anything. Well, it's good, still 20 cents in the money, but that's not a happy joy for me. AMD, 45 cents in the money. Should have been more, but we'll take a piece out and reload it if we can get that reload. But for right now, yeah, that's what we're doing. We're just waiting to see if there's going to be any sort of a profit area for us here on some of these names, but it just doesn't look like it. Like, and what I mean by that is like, are we going to get lower or should we just be scalping? And I think that that's always something that we're going to have to decide here as a trader, right? What kind of a day do we have left in the market? And I'm looking, and I always say this, like, you know, we still have a lot of time left here today. It's only 3:15.
Yeah, no.
I mean, what I was going to get at, Neil, there. I know you're kind of saying, well. I know why. I still feel that the imbalances. Last week we had a couple in the billions. Believe it or not. Yes. Nice. So we had some nice numbers in the billions. So I just want to make sure that, unlike the show billions, you know, I don't want to make too many mistakes here. So let's just wait to play that out. But there's 126, nice pullback. That shows insane, right? Microsoft, look at this pullback for Softy. Where are my bids? And this is what I'm talking about. Let's just stay focused. I'll punch some out there at 9s and let's go. So right now, Microsoft, good fill again. Like, hello, that's $1 right now in the money. So smoking on that one. Hit the alarm. We're ready to go. Exactly. Let's pull those back a little bit. Or
Yay!
Yeah, there it is. So there's the other sheep one there as we go. But yeah, so far so good, man. Really excited to have Neil back. Really excited to put some banger trades on again for you today. I think you guys can see that is hopefully what I'm doing, and I hope you guys have had some success here this afternoon.
Yeah, we're heading to the downside. It's been a slow-ish flush, but we are coming back down in. I just saw 63 on Meta, so we do take that next leg out. It's just under $1, like I was saying. I didn't actually get 64 even short. My shorts were in the 90s, and then again here at 89, so a bit of a blended price there. So let's see what happens. I think if you take another leg down, you're thinking 62 or 61. I'm not sure where that's going to be. And AI, I might continue to move the trail up on this. But I want to give it a chance to break 41 and make a run at that high of the day. I haven't moved that. It's still in there at 40.5. If it breaks the high of the day, I probably tighten it up to 41. Let's just see what happens. It's the only long position that I have on. I'm kind of hoping it can buck the trend. I'm not sure it can. There is something else out there. Red 1010. That's a new one in the chat. Welcome to Trader TV Live, Red 1010. I hope you've been watching a while, but I don't recognize that name. But you know what? You've already made a contribution because you just pointed out a name that's up 12% when the market's rolling back over and is breaking high of the day, and that would be Upstart. Upstart 30 is a thing. It's been 30. No, well, it's not there, but on the daily chart, Upstart is 30 is an obvious level if you pull up the daily. Break. But this is, oh my goodness, this stock, like if you look at it this morning, anyways, ifs and buts, candy nuts, and then in the afternoon, it made another top break as well. So this is a strong stock. I think it's at this point, you're kind of treating it like a C3 AI, where it's a squeeze play, it's a pure Momo play. That means until you get to 30 or maybe even, I guess, last week's. I mean, I wasn't here to look at this level, but I'm to make the assumption that it really gave up the ghost at 28.5. I suppose that could be a bit of a thing, but obviously 30 on Upstart will be one. I'm in AI, so putting in another one doesn't make a ton of sense here, buying at the high of the day, but certainly a strong one and worth noting. Anything that's bucking this trend and holding the highs, you got to pay attention to. Another squeeze type name. There's AI through 41, so hopefully it can hold out above here. I'll probably tighten the stop up once we test that high of the day at 41.50. I won't give it all the way back to 40.50 where the stop is right now. I'll probably tighten up to 41 once we see that high of the day.
I'm just refreshing some of my stop orders here because it is 320 right now,
I got a few.
and we have a lot of positions that are in the money quite decently right now. So just making sure that we have the right stops. Every position we have is at least, well, I mean, Palantir is only 6 cents now and starting to go back higher. So this is probably where my
Spidey sense?
Yeah, it's Spidey sense, but like where the focus maybe should be. But I don't know if there's enough action right now to blast this thing through. It's only 137 million. Like, why did it come all the way back just to like do nothing again? This looks like a great short, to be honest with you. And if we didn't have sort of the Cathie Wood underpin, I think I would go short. I just wonder if it gets to 15, if that signals again buyers like ARC, let's go, you know, and I don't know what sort of algorithms they're using, but I feel like when it came down to 13 on the other day right here and ripped it back in, boom, straight up there to the upside to 14.20. I just wonder if the machines get turned on at 15 again and we go a hell of a lot higher than where we are right now. So I'm going to be try to be as cautiously trading this as I can be right now. So we're going to wait to see.
You've never seen the Palantir, so you've never seen the...
The what?
Hold on a second, you've actually never seen the ARC? I'll show you what the algo looks like. No, this is the ARC algo right here.
Just buy?
No, this is the ARC algo.
Yeah.
And he just hits the key and just hits the buy key over and over and over again. Once the stock gets underneath a certain level, they just buy it until it gets back above. That's how they roll.
Okay.
I am completely convinced. It's something that approximates that. Like, you know what, like,
that's what I'm waiting for.
Because you'd look at, like, Coinbase, and we'd look at the chart of Coinbase, and it would be, like, absolute dog crap, right?
all of a sudden.
But it breaks a certain key level to the downside, and then 2 days later, Cathie Wood bought a ton of it. And then it was the same thing with Palantir, it was the same thing with Zoom. It's like, once it hhits a certain price, underneath there, she's just buying, and that's how they roll. And if it works for her, great. By the way...
She buys Upstart.
I mean, Upstart is
I got to look at her portfolio again because I got to find out.
It's worth a look. Upstart's having a good day today. It's up 12%. Prad's just asking how Upstart's doing. I said up 12%. It's making a run at the highs. But guess what else just made a run at the high of the day and is about to trail me out because it is failing the high again. So my trail's now at 41 on C3 AI. So we got in. We didn't take this consolidation. We waited for it to break out and took the next consolidation long. It did it again at 40, tried again at 41. But the high of the day has been run. The high of the day has been rejected. If we don't hold 41 now, I'm just going to give this one up. How many times can it fail to get through this top? It's just real ridiculous. You'd think at one point it was going to just go moonshot straight up and break the backs of the shorts. But every time it gets to the high, the shorts seem to get in control a little bit. But it's still a good one. It's still deep in the money, and we still want to hold on to it for the end of the day. And maybe NVIDIA doesn't want to make the break of that low. At some point, it just might, like, this trade does not, it's not available taking a low of the day break on NVIDIA. To me, if it happens at like 350 something, but we are still within time where this could work. So NVIDIA is consolidating off 400, 399.50 is the low of the day. That could be worth it for a bit of a break trade. I'm in the meta short, and I still have some Palantir, but it's a baby position on Palantir. But NVIDIA breaking the low would make a lot of sense if the market wants to have a real move down.
I mean, I'm totally down for NVIDIA and breaking. I mean, we have a great trade on. I mean, it's crazy that we don't have AMD more shares, but I did notice where it was, and we should have. And, of course, that one as per usual. There it is. Nice move to the downside, 125. Let's wait to see if we can get – I think we can go lower. Like, all this debt ceiling talk, honestly, it's kind of like – you know, I think you go lower. I think, bless you, I think all this debt talk – can get a lot nastier, man. Like, what if there is something leaked that, nah, we're not voting, or, you know, we're not feeling this anymore? I don't know. The market was really screaming this morning, up quite nicely, and we've just been making moves down. I mean, sure, we started to make, I mean, now here again, you know, as you can see, starting to get higher lows coming in right there. So, you know, or sorry, lower highs right there, in, and you can see draw some lines in a channel to the downside right now. Looking to have to get back to VWAP before anything's really broken. That 14,400 could come into play, 14,440, sorry, right there, as we just bounced off 14,4 clean. So lots of trading opportunities here. Just got to find them in this market, of course, as we go. So, all right. With that being said, I mean, none of us went short Palantir. Is there another?
I didn't take it because it didn't quite get there. I'm still offering.
Shout out to Sean and Neil. What's up to Larry's Mobile Detailing? The whole crew, great show. Thank you so much right there. Thank you right here. Larry's Mobile Detailing. If you need your car at all detailed, please give Larry's Mobile Detailing a shout. He is nationwide.
I know somebody who got a new whip. Didn't Sharif just get a new whip?
Oh yeah. But you know that.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Maybe he wants.
Yes.
He wants to hook it up a little bit.
And I have no idea where Larry's
the matte black, baby.
Mobile.
Obviously, that's not what Sharif's going for.
Right. Yes. Okay. All right. There it is. So it's a nice move downside right now for everything. Thank you, Larry's Mobile Detailing. We just had Prad saying some stuff there about Randy details cars. Okay, that's interesting.
Randy does everything apparently.
Yeah, I don't think that's true, but
I don't think he does either.
We'll wait. There was I had some talk to Randy before. Actually, where is Randy? Because he had mentioned, he gone probably. Yeah, you're right. He had mentioned that there would be a possibility to have somebody come in. There's somebody in Toronto that he knows that does that mobile detailing, and if there was 6 or 7 of us or whatever downstairs in the parking lot, that would be some sort of a
so he's
deal.
not joking around? This is for real? What?
No, I don't know what Prad's saying now, but there was talk. This was years ago. That's why.
He has a guy for everything, Randy.
Randy doesn't have a wrap on his car? Oh, he's wrapping a Ferrari?
Randy's not wrapping a Ferrari. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I don't know either. All right, let's just move on.
Yeah, let's move on for a second. Because finally, The Rock has... No, just...
The Rock!
On the plane, I watched... anyways, Black Adam sucks. That's... I was trying to make... Because finally, The Rock has come back to it. I'm like, yeah, that was a really crappy movie, but it was a long-ass flight on the way back. And
you know how long... That took like 1 month, and it hit HBO Max or something.
You know what? It is what it is. Marvel good, DC, they haven't figured it out yet. And it could have been great because I love The Rock.
Oh, there's a new Flash.
The Flash, I saw, dude, there was posters for The Flash all over Paris.
Was there?
I mean, I guess, yeah, it's like any other city. Why wouldn't they advertise a big movie coming out?
Yep.
So, of course, they did.
Yep.
So here comes C3 AI back through the high of the day. Break 42. I just continue to trail this one. 41, the current trail. Once it breaks 42, I'm going to tighten it up. This one is arrows up. It wants to make that high. Even Meta, oh my goodness, the market's trying to bounce a little bit here. So even Meta, it's catching bids off 63. So now it's going sideways, consolidating. Palantir, we're running out of time for a breakout on Palantir.
Never.
It's just, well, I mean,
we are running out of time.
It's almost 3:30. So at some point, I don't take the short. At some point, there's no breakout to be had. We're not there just yet because we still have a half an hour. But like we said, we have to be flat at the end of the day, and that's just how it's going to be. Some people saying Flash looks incredible. I haven't seen the trailer. You guys tell me. Mashworth, how was Paris? It was unbelievable. You know what? You got to DM me for suggestions. Here's what I will say. The Arc de Triomphe, you could spend an entire day just watching traffic from there, because that roundabout and like it's silly what some pedestrians do, because there was this one family that tried to you're not allowed to ride bikes in that roundabout.
Right.
This dude with his baby on the back and his wife behind him rode through all the traffic to cross it. Got told they had to turn around by the guys with the big guns.
Yeah.
So what do you think he does? He's like, okay.
Keeps going.
He just darts back across. And no regard for all the traffic around him. People are stopping, honking. And his wife is just, they're freaking out. And she's scared, so she has to wait for 15 minutes to go. And he just zooms across all that traffic. I'm like, dude, you're not wearing a helmet. Your baby's in the back. Are you crazy?
That stretch there to Champs-Élysées, that street is amazing.
Goodness, unbelievable.
There's so many. There's a Disney store that's there.
There's so many shops there.
You have to walk. Everyone
walks. You have to walk it.
It's
a walking city. You've got to walk that city, because there's so much to see and the food's fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Just take it all in, man. It's one of those, don't rush. You're not going to see you won't see everything, but trust me, there's so much beauty. in that city, and people are fantastic there. That's another good thing too. So I enjoyed it. It was my first time to Europe proper, I've been told, because England apparently doesn't really count.
Correct.
Which is, yeah, that's what anyone, like, you're Italian, that's what people say. So.
No, well, it's the UK. It's the United Kingdom.
Yeah,
They're out of the euro.
Technically, it's part of the continent, technically, but they're not really Europe.
Yeah, I mean, it's a completely different culture. But no, a shout out. I mean, even London is amazing, all over the place. So glad you had a great time there. Obviously, the market
You
missed
get to go to Rome.
Yeah, I'm going to Rome in a couple months for sure. I've already been there, but that's beautiful. I can't wait to. I mean, I'm taking the little ones there. That should be a lot of fun. Back into Rome. So, yeah, tonight.
Are you guys all going? Just sorry, I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all four of us. Not Baxter. All four of us are going, as Baxter has summer internship already.
Yeah, buddy, he's got important things to do, son.
Yeah. That guy's got very, very important things to do.
Congratulations!
Yeah. Shout out to my wife again. Birthday today, so we're really happy with that. We got Little League tonight and hockey, and then party. I don't know. Yeah, we're going to do that. And, well, we spent some good time on the weekend as well. We had some great time yesterday. Happy belated Memorial Day to everybody if we didn't get that done either as well. All about being patient, man, with everything here today. I'm just trying to get out of everything until something happens. So, yeah, so Palantir's
now or never for this 15 level.
Yeah. So I don't have any shares. It shows I have shares left, and I do, but it's a minimal amount. We're going to wait to see what happens here. I'm not going short because the size doesn't really exist right there now, and I think it breaks. It's only up 10%. I know that sounds funny, but we can go more than that on Palantir, as we've seen numerous times. So let's wait to see if that is indeed true one more time here for Palantir. Hopefully we get a break of 15. I'm going long through 15, so if we get it, we get it. If not, we don't. So we're going to have to watch out for it.
Well, you'll get a fill.
Yeah, we should be able to get a fill there. I didn't cross up that much, man. I only crossed up 5 pennies. So let's wait to see how.
Oh, there's plenty of liquidity.
How much? Yeah.
So I moved my trail to 42 on AI. I'm still gonna take some at 99, but like I said, to me, like when you do this, you got to take less or take nothing. It's so late in the day, and there isn't that much size there. But I am still offering 99s. I'll leave it in. If we break 01s, then I'm out. I feel like. Even with slippage, you're probably risking 3 or 4 cents. I just don't want to take as much. And if it doesn't print 99, I don't get filled. I don't want anything but 99 at this point. I'm not even going to take 98s here. It's got to be perfect. But AI just continues to churn. It is a bull day. I wish I could tell you I was long Upstart. But like even that name, as AI goes, like Upstart got to 28.58. That's starting to pull back. C3AI, as I said, I keep moving my trail up. And Meta, I have to acknowledge, it's catching a bit off 63. Still a bit of a downtrend since 64. But I don't think I have an offer to reload this. We're getting a little bit late in the day. If it bounces and gets back up here, I don't know that I automatically like that short again. I'll let it travel back up and make that decision when we get there, because that could be close to the imbalances coming out, and then we'll try to respect those. So I'm just going to hold on to my AI long. We'll see what happens. I think you can be happy with it. DJK just looked, they said that you took your profit on C3AI. I'm just moving my trail up. If it pulls back 50 to 60 cents, from the next even dollar level, then I basically am getting out, and I've been doing that since 41. Just gonna give it time to run and room to run as well. But yeah, Palantir, come on, man. Just give us this one last trade. It would be really frustrating if it doesn't break now and then it gaps the level overnight. That's what's gonna happen.
Yes,
it's gonna gap the level overnight, essentially.
Yep, for sure. I think, I mean, if we close at 15, it's gonna open at higher than 15.
15.40 or something.
Unless the market somehow, unless we get that debt ceiling debacle overnight. But, okay, so we have another reloaded position. It's like too many times a charm here, but we got to keep doing it because it's working. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to keep doing something until it doesn't work, right? But it's not setting up the same because we're now above the 50 period here. But we probably were before on the futures as well. But, you know, a little north, we talked about this last time, little north of 300 here, and we're 333, whatever we're at, 333 right now. Then we're going to get out of this Microsoft trade. We just reloaded it again. We had some good outs. Again, this is what we're doing better today. We're more scalping. We've understood that this market is kind of been in a scalp mode all afternoon. So that's what we're doing right now. We're scalping, and we're going over to Brendan quickly. What's up?
Goldman, guys, quick note here. Didn't really do much to the stock, but GS going to cut under 250 jobs in the coming weeks here. That just came across for Goldman, but not really doing much.
I mean, the market usually likes that kind of a thing.
Yeah, it seems to be okay to me.
It seems to make sense. You know, Goldman before the reversal today was actually looking like it was going to participate in this breakout for a hot minute, and then obviously it didn't. But yeah, it held a 50 period on Friday. I wasn't here obviously, but it held a 50. It looked like it was going to break back out, make a run at the 200 on the daily. It just didn't really follow through, materialize, and that's just been, what are you going to do? The financials, they ain't having it right now. So you know, it's just not there for them. Even when it looks good, there's just not enough. There's not really enough buying for it to continue any moves. That's what happened when it looked a little bit strong earlier today. So kind of the same old. AI just continues to churn. It's going to get to 43 here. Yeah, this is probably, if it fails 43, that's going to be an obvious out. If I get a wick break at 43 even, I'm just going to take this out myself here because it's 335. I don't know how far this one is going to be able to go anyways. And from that 40, you know, you go from 36 to 43, you've already put in a 20% move, and it's up 30% on the day. And I'm talking about this level. On the daily, it's not like there's anything to worry about here. You're just out in no man's land. But I can see it Hua-dunking. I'm not giving this back to 42, so I'm going to tighten the stop, and I might manually get out if I see a fail break at 43.
Okay, I mean, we do have a new position alert. We just talked about it a little bit. Let's freaking go. If we can get some downside push here, then we'll be a much happier camper than we are right now. Let's go. We just got some 85s in for Softy. So here it comes, man. Let's pull this back. This could be the trade that we want the rest of the day, and that's it. So let's wait to see. It is 336. We just got that fill again there. So yeah, we're pretty happy, obviously, about grabbing that fill. But let's just make sure that it continues. So there's Microsoft. We took a couple outs here. Again, short 333 exactly. So we actually let it go above, and then I punched it down even more right there. So boom, punched it down. Believe ye of little faith, man. Why did we get out so much? We've been trading Microsoft really well, and there it is again. Wow. I mean, let's go right here. This is actually like way better, honestly, than Palantir today. Like just these moves, it's not way better than Palantir. Palantir is my #1 stock, but Microsoft is sneakily right behind it. We've just went short 333 a bunch of times, man, and our best out is right here. And now we're just taking profits like 2-to-1 on the risk to reward again, and then we just get 68s right there. Spin the money on this one. It's been a good trade here so far today, and I'm pretty happy with it. So let's go, man. Let's go Microsoft. Nice downside push one more time for this name. Let's see if we can get another leg down. I mean, we just shorted this thing again at 333. So instantly in the money, 35 cents. Neil's talked about this. You know, it's just, we can't. The amount of risk that we take overnight, it's like I can't hold Microsoft 1,000 shares or something overnight. It's just we're on a prop floor or anything like that. So even 10, whatever the risk is intraday. So that's why Neil and I both, of course, are going to be backing away from all these positions as we go. So nice trade here so far. Let's see if we can get this one really aggressive and some downside push here on AMD. Downside push happening on Microsoft. Micron is now 85 cents in the money and collapsing. And that was a good trade that we've been holding on to as well. So maybe we do get a repeat downside right now for all of these names, man. 700 likes, Steve G. I can't get people to hit the like button, but people should, because for right now, we only have 700 likes. I'm going to trust you on that. 705 with 4,300 watching. Come on, man. What's going on right now? Maybe we can get that. What's the matter with you over there?
I can't.
So hopefully we can get a nice little move back up on the likes and a move in whichever way you want the market to go. Because if you hit the like button, the more likely chance that the market reacts to your current positions. Of course, that is 100% not true, but no, I'm going to go with that.
Why not? And you have a chance to be the 1,000th like as well, which is always fun because everyone wants to get that round number. We know what it's all about there. I know you just said we have to be flat at the end of the day. I'll reiterate that because someone just asked if I'm holding till earnings or till aftermarket on AI. The answer would be no anyways, but remember I said if I see a failed wick break at 43, I'm out. So that's what just happened. Got to the high of the day. It broke 43, got to 43.40, tight trail it the whole way up. We've been trailing it out. We put this and Meta on. This one obviously is it's been the better one. This has been a long all day. It's been a long it made a bottom off that short seller report and has been an absolute rocket ship. Is it going to be able to continue? It's got a 28% short interest. I don't know how high it's going to go. I don't know what the earnings are going to be able to tell us to be able to make this make sense.
Right.
But this is a Momo trade. It's just a momentum trade at this point. So I'm not. When I look at the report, I'm not sure how much I'm going to dig into it. I'm just going to be looking for price action after tomorrow at the close. But that's when they were reporting. Just to confirm, it is tomorrow after the close. Someone said today, and I'm like, no, it's not till tomorrow. But I'm out of it at 43. We'll take our 3 and change and run, and then hold on to the shorts that we got. I am no longer shorting pounds here at 99. It's now 340. It's just too late in the day. There's no point. If it gets there, it's probably going to break. Still a little bit of teeny bits of time for that level to still give us a breakout trade. So let's work with the shorts at this point. I think the market doesn't want to go when it comes to big tech. No reload on Meta because, quite frankly, it's not really popping. We're only flushing here. I'm looking for that 260, either 62 or 61. Let's just see how far it can go. And by the way, NVIDIA, it broke 400, but not really. Like it got underneath by a couple of pennies. That 399.50 still holding. That breakdown still in play. I'll give that till at least a couple, 345 maybe. But I wouldn't want to take that trade at 350. Could be too much of a trap that late in the day. I would have hoped it would have made the break sooner because I would love to short that through the low of the day. It just hasn't happened on NVIDIA yet.
I mean, you guys tell me what this is. It's the money dance. I mean, we have no choice right now. Microsoft is actually beautiful, baby. Huge move to the downside for us on Microsoft, and we just continue that sort of momentum now in this market and really starting to bank out everywhere. Like, this is just a great trade all the way there to the downside. We reloaded that position. We like it. We like it a lot, and yeah. So far working out for us here on Softy right now. Nice move again to that downside, and it's continuing to go. So far, as we said, so good here on Microsoft. Let's just see if we can get the momentum even lower right now. I just put a bid down at 332 flat. See it, well, actually 332.15 before you at me on that one, but that's a good one right there to the downside. Let's see if it continues to work down. That's good. AMD, again, $1.20 now in the money, and all the way back to these lows one more time. Let's just take them out. Let's just take these lows out. Forget about it. Let's take them out. Apple came into, again, one more time, but this level, we can actually take it out. Apple, we've been kind of wrong today on it. I mean, well, we're down on it. I was going to say we're up on it, but we're not. So here goes Apple. Maybe we can break lower. Let's put another bid down here, like pretty close to where we are, just to take it out. Like, we'll put it, there we go. We just took it out at 39, so we'll go.
Oh my God.
Whatever, it's 30 cents, but we'll take it. Hopefully it does pull out, and we'll be able to get some more short if we need it. But for right now, it's a nice downside move. Thank you so much to everybody who hit the like button. 1K right now. Thank you so much for that. We've made our whole day back, and it's been a great one. So we were really red to begin with, and now we're pretty much cruising. So far, so good here to close out the day for me. So let's see if we can get it going more, though. We want more trades, more shorts. Hopefully, Microsoft will give it to us. No idea where we go from here on Softy, but hopefully lower. I'm bidding 332.15. Let's go. Let's fill that up, and yeah, we'll just take it all to the bank. 332.15. I mean, oh, we got that fill. Actually, we got that fill. Okay, so we got it. All right, now we just wait. Now we wait. I don't know if we're going to put on anything else, Brendan. Brendan's over there. Neil, you're that.
Palantir's giving a pullback. I'm taking some out because I have a small amount left. It was like 5% that I was holding on to, but it just got halfway to VWAP. So just doing it because what else are you going to do? If it gets to VWAP, I'll be out of this thing altogether. But there's no more trades on this. No breakout. That's not going to be in play. NVIDIA was so close. My stop order was in if it broke the low of the day, and it bounced again at 400. So it doesn't seem to want to take out this little wick bottom, and it's right here just underneath 399.50. It doesn't want to break that low. Again, it holds. It's not really moving that far away from it, but if it doesn't break down and you consistently hold this price area, it's not going to be worth it, and we're running out of time. So if it doesn't happen in the next couple of minutes, we'll just have to stick to the two shorts that we're holding here. They've been good, but it would have been interesting for NVIDIA to break that bottom. It's got so much room underneath here. Like, this could go $15 down and has not broken the upward trend that it's in.
Right.
Like, that's what's insane about it. So it makes short trades very interesting if you get these bottom breaks, although I was only short once at the 400 the first time, and that was actually an L because it didn't go very far.
I mean, We still have more bullets to fire, but let's just hold Microsoft. It's taking out 332 right now. So there it is, man. This is $1. Like, we've just given this a couple times here today. Nice trade over and over and over and over again. So that's been good. I'm with Neil on Palantir. I actually took a bid at 90, but there's the drop down into 75. So that's probably worth it there as well on a 75 move to the downside there for Palantir. So we're still in it. I feel pretty confident with it. So let's just do our best to try to hold this right now on Palantir and see where we go with it. So right now, that's the play for me on Palantir. Hold it, maybe downside move. If not, we're way lighter than we were before, so that's all good. Micron downside, Palantir downside, Apple, AMD. So the only name that's not working, and we got a grayed out, we talked about putting that fill there, it's Apple. And it's not working out, so I don't even have an offer. We have a very, very light position now on Apple. And quite frankly, I think that we should just get out.
Be frank.
Yeah, it's always good to be frank. I think that we're just going to get out of Apple right here. We'll put a bid at 48. Hopefully that fills us, and if it does, then we will be out of there for Apple. So far, so good. Let's just see if it does want to continue to work for us. On the downside, we're now getting out of that, and like Neil said, yeah, man, Frank Caberna, we love that guy. Killing it every day for us on the show with some macro and everything like that.
Did you see the imbalance?
Yeah, we did it. That's when I said Brendan, it's because I wanted to give the imbalance, and you started saying something.
That's my bad. Yeah.
No, it's all good. The imbalance right now, 344 to sell. So there you go.
So it's not gigantic, but I mean, in 4 minutes, everything can change.
Yes,
at 350.
sir.
So I'm gonna have I always have trailing stops out on positions that I'm in. I'm not giving Palantir to 15 at this point. I'll probably trail to like 1490, and then the same thing with Meta. Like, I'm not giving it back in at 264. I'll probably trail at that 263 even. But Carvana, wow. So I don't really know why it's going up today, but it doesn't matter. Like, squeeze, yada yada yada. It's just an absolute moonshot. Shout out to everyone that sort of brought this to us. I mean, it's pretty unbelievable here when you look at this. And it's breaking out on the daily too, so I could see this. Like, if it gets through 14 and holds above 14 tomorrow, like, where could it go? $17, like 19, those are all viable levels on this breakout that's been looming. This is a strong bounce that the stock's putting. It's above the 50 period, higher lows above the 50 period, then another breakout, making another breakout on the daily here today. Got to have a look at Carvana tomorrow. And I keep getting asked if I could hold it, would I hold AI overnight? I mean, personally, like when I used to swing penny stocks and those types of things back in the day, I don't really do that on my own account anymore, although that said, I actually do have Tellurian at $1, so I guess I still do it. Usually you have an obvious out. And if I was long anything that resembled a reasonable price, like a 20 break or like a 24 or like a 28 break, and you've already taken some, those are all huge profits, right? Would I hold on to some on the off chance it goes a little bit higher and continues its run into the earnings tomorrow? Yeah, I probably would give it a shot playing with some house money, but I wouldn't be, if I was long up here, I wouldn't. Hell no. No. I mean, I wouldn't, because it's just, again, if you understand more about the company and why maybe you could justify this through the earnings, then more power to you. I don't. I just think it's squeezing right now, and you play the momentum while it's happening, and you work yourself out and take profit. So I think it's always a very risky game, but it doesn't report until tomorrow after market. So there's a chance it could continue to squeeze into tomorrow. I'm just not sure that it can sustain. A lot of times they sell the news on these things. So what are they going to show you that makes it worth it? It's from 18 to 43 in a month. Like, what can they do on the earnings call? But people said that about NVIDIA. And what was NVIDIA that day? It was 25%? It was 30?
Oof. Oh, on their earnings day?
Yeah. Well,
yeah, 20, yeah, exactly. 27, 28,
right. 29,
yep.
So, I mean,
exactly.
But C3AI is a different beast. It's a 28% short name that doesn't obviously have the fundamentals of an NVIDIA.
Yep, agreed with that 1,000%. And in getting green on the day, we take Microsoft all the way to the downside right now. Look at that fill we just got. Like, we're now $1.50 in the money, and we just put this trade on. So yes, sir, man, great day here. Obviously, as we screwed up early, but got sweet, sweet revenge late, including this AMD trade, man. That was obviously a great trade there as it's making a move down as well. Everything. We wanted to hold the short. And that's the thing, man. We talked about that. Stick with your guns, stick with your positions, and make sure that you're able to make some money, when you're right, and try to hold on. And Been doing that a little bit more on these later positions, but not earlier, and that's my bad. We took some big hits early and just wasn't able to sort of recover from them until now. Like Google today, you know, definitely thought the long, and then the tank happened, then we went short, got blown out of that as well, but look how great these tops are here at 124.50. Be patient with your trading, and I'm pretty sure all of us will see much greater results when that is the case. So, you know, be patient, be focused on your stock, and make sure that you're there to make a little bit of money. And with that being said, Neil, Palantir as well, all the way back down.
It's coming all the way back.
Yeah, so I'm going to put a bid now. Get this fill if I can get it on Palantir.
It doesn't want to break view up.
And then call it a day. We just got 80s. So, okay, so right there, awesome end to our day on Palantir. We will be taking no more trades on this name, so there. We'll wait on it. And
imbalances in 10 seconds.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting out too because imbalances.
Yeah, so watch out for those imbalances that are coming through right now. As I got to call
I'm going to hold up my meta. I'm going to have the imbalances up just so we can get them in a couple of seconds. I don't expect it to be gigantic, but you never know. It was 344 to sell originally. We've got, nothing really gigantic. I mean, AT&T, BAC. Still waiting for the NASDAQ ones to roll in. That's what we care about here. Yeah, where are the NASDAQ names?
Well, Comcast is here.
I mean,
they're here. Apple.
But none of like Intel's the biggest, 500,000. Palantir's 500,000 to sell, but these are all pretty small.
Oh yeah, AMD. Yeah, they're not big. Well, here the number is 682. So there it is.
682
shout
to
out.
sell.
Yeah, shout out to Brendo, shout out to everybody else right now. Microsoft $1.30 in the money, AMD $1.30 in the money, and Micron 90 cents right now in the monies. So far so good on all of this. And again, thank you to everybody for watching us today and for hopefully hitting the like button and the subscribe or whatever button you want to hit, to be quite honest with you. But hopefully it's one of those ones.
Those are two good ones. Well,
or the share.
Or the share, that's a big one.
I like the share button.
Because it's all about growing the community. Like share with your friends.
Yep.
Anybody that's looking for a trading community, that's what we're here for. Because we get to trade on a trading floor where people bounce ideas off each other and you get to learn from everybody. Not everybody gets that chance sitting at home. And if you're doing that, then hopefully you found your outlet, you found your trading community right here, and don't go anywhere. We're here every single day. The U.S. markets are open. We don't care about the Canadian markets when they're closed. Whatever, it is what it is. Even though we are located in Canada. I will be out of Meta on a 262 trail at this particular point, but we're going to hold on to it and just see where it goes at this point.
Yeah. I mean, AMD, Quadunk. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Everything's just been so good today for us on the short side of things that I just feel like we want to stick with that tomorrow. Stay net short until we get this all figured out. I don't have one long today. The only long I had on was Tesla, and we, murked that one basically. I mean, all the way like 200. That was great. We missed the best out, but we still got it when we got it good. In case you understood. So I'm getting close to getting out now. Let's just put a stop in because we're only a couple minutes away. Let's just stop this out right there, 331.70, all right? Well, look at this move, though. Wow. Now I feel bad at stopping this out if that's the play. It's still moving down. This is a big winner, man. $1.70 now in the money. Just put on for you. Just put on. If you're not back here tomorrow, like if you have free time tomorrow, just come back, man. The water's warm. These are some banger trades, man. AMD, Microsoft, Micron. You kidding me? Palantir. Both Neil and I talked about Palantir up there. I was offering 97, man, to get more short. Ye of little faith did not believe.
Should have just taken it.
Should have just taken it. Why didn't we take it? We talked about it.
Well, I moved to 99. So I
just canceled, period.
I moved my offer from, I had 97, I moved to 99. I probably wouldn't have got it anyway, so. But it is annoying because it's like a trade till it's not. You can take smaller size, right? Just take less, right? Like you just take less than you did the first time, and until the level breaks, it's valid. I'm going to keep moving my trail with 62 just broke on Meta. It feels like it does want to get down to 61. The market broke some support down there at 14.4 in the NASDAQ. That's why you're starting to see this accelerate just a little bit. So mad respect to the market for the last little bit, but it has been more of a sell day than previously. You got to be able to respect the fact that that's just what it's been. There's been some kernels of strength. I think they've been in the squeeze names, AI, Carvana, Upstart. Those are the types of names that have been at the highs of the day today. Checks back on C3. Where are you? Yeah, it was probably the right out in terms of the range, but I could have held on to this one, but it's holding above 43, so congratulations to held on to that. I'm now out of Meta. So I put my trail in. If it held 62 underneath, I was going to give it to the close. It did not. It's back above 262, so that was 64 to 63 to 62 every single dollar. I won't have any more trades in the last 5 minutes, but it's been a fun one. I've been glad to be back. Team of man Sean, shout out to Marissa. Happy birthday if you're watching. I'm sure you guys are going to have a lot of fun tonight, although.
I'm not sure about that, but.
Oh, what? You have the kids' sports, and then why?
Just laughing behind us.
Why won't you have fun? What the? Why won't you have fun?
Well, because, I mean, it's just like another normal day. I mean, I think we'll have some fun.
That's fun.
We always have a great time, of course, in the Katina clan. But yeah, we are busy tonight. But a big shout out to my wife. Flowers have already been delivered. We're all good on that.
Then you're all good.
We're all good. Well, I have more. I shouldn't say it in case she's watching. We have some more things to go today. So shout out to my kids.
And he is blushing, Roland.
Oh no. Oh no!
What happened?
No, I just had nothing really happened. I shouldn't react like that. We had an Apple bid that we left down there for a monster trade, of course. Look at what the hell we are doing right now on Microsoft. Yeah, hello, we're here. Hi, it's me. We're the anti-hero today because there it is, nice little downside move. You probably don't get that joke. It's Taylor Swift. It's lame. I'm an idiot.
I actually don't.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I'm actually glad you don't get it. There's a song called Anti-Hero, and anyways, okay. Let's move on there.
Enough.
What's up to Taylor Swiftie and all the Swifties out there? Saw my guy Aaron Rodgers blasting some Taylor Swift there. But bang, there it is. Let's go, man. We in the building, baby. As this market continues to make moves lower and lower and lower. And there it is, man. Just about as clean as day there. Wait a minute. We got filled on Microsoft. Oh, no, we didn't. Where's my Microsoft bid? I don't know. I thought we got it. So let's just punch the hell out right now. And boom, there it is. Nice trade there on Softy. Let's just keep on going with the moves, man. Good downside move as we go on Microsoft.
Yeah, and by the way, 355 hit, and it's more sell side, if anything. Like Apple got bigger, so the selling bounce, it's not huge, but it's 750,000, whereas it wasn't much of anything. Oh, my face is in the way there. Thank you guys very much. See, that's what it's all about on the ones and twos. Appreciate it. So 750, it is a bigger selling bounce than before. It's the only name out there that looks I guess remotely sizable, but it is all sell side. With the exception of a few names, AI still at the high of the day, Upstart. It did make a bit of a dip, but Upstart's still holding $29. Oh my goodness, Upstart 30, I'm already marking that one down. That should be a pretty big level. It's a huge level on the daily chart. I think we're going to get a chance to run at this tomorrow. Whether it's a clean breakout trade or a pop and fade, there's so many setups that work with something like that on an Upstart. That looks pretty spicy to me. And obviously C3 AI, it's got to be on your radar because of the earnings. Palantir, I guess you could have held out for VWAP. I said I'm getting out in front of it. It got to VWAP again. So I mean, like that's like the thing about as a day trader, like that's the one. If you want like Palantir at 15. It is more to do with the nature of how it traded that level than anything else. Because you really could have just risked like 2 or 3 cents, maybe 4 or 5, to get multiple times like a 20 cent to 30 cent move. It eventually got to 14.50. So at one point when it ran and hit the level, that next move was a 50 cent move to the downside. You're not going to see that very often. That's a trade that you want to have every single time you get there. Not often you'll have a cheap stock moving this much that had a monster offer. Hopefully we get a chance at this breakout tomorrow because I think the break could be just as good as the short was. But only 2.5 minutes to go.
La.
And C3 AI ain't stopping here. Rage TV says we'll see after market tomorrow. We have a whole day before those earnings on C3 AI. So I'm a little bit skeptical that it'll hold this up through earnings, but that won't matter if it wants to squeeze again tomorrow. Back to the high of the day on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to burst anybody's bubble, but this is not moving on earnings or anything like that.
It's a squeeze.
Yeah, so let's, the earnings probably will disappoint. That doesn't necessarily mean
how could they not?
That the stock won't go down. I mean, it could easily just go back up. Look, man, I mean, we just took 280 or whatever that was on Microsoft. So to say that our day's gotten significantly better would be a lie. It's gotten significantly better. What am I talking about? It's gone a lot better. So, okay, let's go over to Brendo now with some...
Understatement is the word
understatement,
you're looking
yeah. Would be an understatement. Good one there. And by the way, the Blue Jays looking a little bit better. Neil, I don't know. What do you think about those Jays these days?
Well, I think they just had the worst of it, and now they're past
Right,
it.
and we had a tough schedule, man, facing Yankees, Orioles, well, the whole AL East.
The whole East is ridiculous.
The Tampa Bay.
Apparently, we're supposed to get to earnings.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, sure. Yeah, what to do.
Capri Holdings. The only capris I know are the ones that Randy wears every single day. But
Randy?
HP,
He's
no,
wearing
I'm
the
joking.
jorts.
He
He's
does
got
not.
the
He wears the
jorts.
jorts. There's not a lot to look at. You guys know what's up this week, and it's going to be C3 AI and it's going to be CRM.
Yeah.
Right, so those are the two earnings that we're all pretty keen on. With less than 1 minute to go, I'm going to make an assumption that Kat is ready. You got 45 seconds.
She's born ready, baby.
She doesn't what? She doesn't want it? Whoa, nice catch. On the
Yanni Rami.
Yanni Rami with the best
there.
trader ID on the entire floor. Yanni Rami's going to ring the bell for us
You ready to
in
go?
just under 30
Oh shit, I got to get
seconds.
out. I still have Micron.
Yeah, you got to get out in about
right.
25 seconds. You got time.
Do I?
20 seconds is an eternity in trading. It's not really.
Okay, I got
You'll
it.
be fine. You'll be
Oh,
fine.
yeah.
So 45 seconds to go. C3AI just broke 44 because of course it did.
Yes, sir.
That stock is absolutely ridiculous, but the countdown is on. It is the end of the day. Let's get it going. Yanni Rami on the close in 4, 3, 2, and ring it.
All right.
The market is closed.
Yo, Yanni Rami, you want to put his sunglasses on?
Indoors, in the I mean, it's fine. Are they though?
The problem is these have. Yeah.
Do
These
you,
are.
though?
These are prescription. That's why I wear them.
Oh, they're prescription. That's legit, but it's indoors. You don't have to have shades.
Hold on, Yanni Rami.
Oh, Ray
These
Charles
are
action.
polarized right here, so I can't even see the screens right now because of how it looks.
Sean
so,
can't see
I don't need to
ish.
see what. I need to see something to make some. Anyways, shout out to
The
Yanni
market
Rami.
is.
Thank you so much for ringing the bell. I think Yanni Rami wants to host maybe one day.
I
This
think
guy's
he-
maybe a character.
I think he does.
We'll have to get him on the midday show at some point because I don't want to do the midday show. I'll give it to someone else. So we'll do that very, very soon. But what a day, what a battle back. It's been a good one here. Let's go over to Brendan at the big desk and find out exactly where we finished on these markets.
A bit of a mixed day when all is said and done. Here we go. 0.32 for the, there it is. NASDAQ composite, 0.4 for the NASDAQ 100. Tried to lead all day long, ended up that way. The Russell, 3,000, 2,000, 1,000. It's the 2,000. Remember, we were talking about those pesky regional banks back in negative territory today, putting a little bit of weight on the Russell 2000. The Dow negative. Look at that. The S&P 000, guys.
What, really?
The S&P was exactly flat.
Ooh
Go
la la.
figure. You don't see that very often, but it kind of reflects the kind of day we had. That doesn't tell the story because really the S&P, as far as I'm concerned, what did we do since the open? We did that since the open. It was a down day for the market. You can say that the market ended up green, and it did.
The market ended up.
But,
Yeah.
but it was a downward trending day.
Yeah, I mean, what was a monstrous day in the market turns green for both of us, which is nice. So nice to have some green nets in the building, but yeah, definitely screwing up some earlier trades. We'll try to be a little bit better than that tomorrow. As I think that was good, man, 1-1.
That's about right.
I was
because-
only short today and making that money, so it was good. And Neil had a couple good longs. We had a good long in Tesla to end the day as well. Okay, Brendan, what's on your mind?
Monday stuff. I can't hear you guys for some weird reason in my ear, so.
Monday stuff. So
Monday.
Tuesday is today.
But it's not Monday.
No, but it feels like Monday. I've been saying that all day long because it feels
Okay.
like Monday.
It does feel like Monday.
Yes,
but it's
because
not.
we had a holiday finally.
But it's not.
And we just noticed as well, Neil, you and I talked about this, the next one that we don't realize here in Canada, Juneteenth, Brendan.
this month.
Heyo.
Hey-oh, so yeah, that's pretty cool, man. That's a great new holiday. So that's June 19th is a Monday.
It is
I
a
totally
Monday.
forgot about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody forgets about Juneteenth.
well,
which is
it's
terrible.
not, yeah,
No,
it's
it's new.
It has nothing to do with being terrible, Neil.
Because it's
Yeah.
brand new. It's brand new.
Right,
Last
right.
year was the first year that it was actually observed for the market. So
Yeah.
this year, traders are used to it not being recognized, but now all of a sudden it is.
Yeah, it's great.
Enjoy it.
All right, thank you, Alfredo. Thank you, Prad. There you go, Prad. What's up, Prad? Thank you, everybody. Fabian, Alfredo, Prad. Thanks to
Max.
Brendo over there. Thanks to Max on the midday. Thanks to Neil.
Sharif.
Great to have you back. Thanks to Sharif as well, who's deadlifting human beings right now
Cars.
somewhere. So shout out to all that. It's been a great show.
true.
Thanks to Bears vs. Bulls in the chat, man. Obviously, that means a lot for everything you've been doing for us as well. But hey, tomorrow's another day.
Thank you, Sean, and don't forget to end the show with
Yes, yes, well, of course. We will not forget to end the show with a happy birthday and a happy birthday bang. This is going to sound funny, but now that will say bang to my wife. I mean, I knew I had to do that, right? As that's coming through. But yeah, it's going to be a good afternoon.
No, you did.
Yeah, I did it again. And another happy birthday bang as we go back to back on that one.
Damn right.
Shout out to my wife as well. At the end of the day, it's just going to be a fail, though. So let's go back and forth as we go. Good day. Thank you so much for watching. So for Neil, Brendan, I'm Sean. Happy birthday, Marissa. Love you. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Marissa.
Ciao.